Hello, welcome once again to the Odyssey Campaign. The majority of our adventurers found themselves thrown together by fate in the back of an orcish slave wagon, right? Through the combination of Mofo's mighty muscles and Victus's butt dagger, they freed themselves and fought their way to Hafton in the midst of the chaos of an uncontained arcane rift. They saved the remains of the town and acquired several magic dampening potions, which they used to stop up the rift, and they kept the leftovers. Forging an uneasy alliance of convenience with a few stragglers, they headed, what direction? Let's see, east? Yeah, east. Towards the town of Angu, on their way to the city of Portanova. Angu is a city built around a giant tree called Angu, and when they arrived they discovered that there was a necrotic rain that had plagued the town. They were assaulted by mad druids, enraged dwarves, and easily outvoted cultists. Eventually, they discovered a grand conspiracy to keep the rapidly decaying undead tree alive through the use of human sacrifices and a stabilized rift and the deathly rain itself. After slaying the mayor due to the implications of a speak with dead spell and defeating the druids, the party confronted the tree's guardian, a giant snake called Orm the Harvester, who begged them not to destroy the tree, else millions would starve in Portanova and the only memory of his friend be lost forever. The party deliberated and argued, Havok discovering a catalyst nearby the rift, made from a chunk of the adamant throne, the heart of power in the capital of his homeland, the Iron Glacier, spurring him and Griff to wish to destroy the tree. Well, some others voted to cure it, and some others decided that it wasn't their issue. The last couple of things that happened was Griff hurled his magic nullification potion into the rift, weakening it but not destroying it, and as he did so, Havok fell to the ground, bleeding from his face, ghostly pale, and racked with fell magics. What will become of him? What will become of the tree? Will the party even stay together? Is this session going to be more than several sentences long? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Sam. I usually play Havok, but tonight I'll be the Dungeon Master. I apologize for what you're about to hear. To my left...
Morgan playing Morgrim, the bird.
And Caleb playing Mofo.
Joe is playing the one and only Atlas.
Liam playing Victus. And Duffy playing Volley.
Okay, so...
I stab Atlas. No.
Atlas is upstairs.
Oh.
So, Volley and Mofo, you guys are just in
After I
town.
found out the tree bleeds.
Yeah.
I kind of felt
You were
embarrassed.
doing tree search.
Yeah.
What did you, where and what were trying to look up?
No, I didn't do anything.
You weren't doing any
Yeah,
tree
no.
search.
I might consider learning more about nature later down the road.
Alright, but I still need to know what you were doing so I can, get you a part of this session.
Yeah. I went to seek psychological assistance for the grief that I found after I learned trees could bleed.
Alright,
I was wondering if all trees could bleed, and have I just been hurting trees my whole life?
So we've been hanging out with Dr. Hippocampus.
who also isn't here.
Well, that's why.
He was making some potions for you, right?
They were a success. I
Do you know where he went? He's back at the tavern. You're in the tavern. You're both at the tavern.
Looking for homeless people to dissect.
Then where are you if you're not in the tavern?
Well, the last thing that happened to me was I tried to use Vanish to sneak through into the tree and was spotted.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are you with the group?
So when all of them went back to fight, I decided to sneak around and use my new spider climb ability to try to get into the tree.
Okay, so everyone is in the tree except for Mofo.
Yes.
Sure.
And Joe is on the upper part of the tree, and we're
Who's in the upper part of the tree?
Atlas is in the upper part of the tree, along with somebody else, along with Morgrim, and Victus is inside of the main room, hanging out with Havok. As Havok collapses to the ground.
Yeah, so Havok's face down on the ground in a pool of blood.
Now, I thought we were not on the ground. We were
So the
halfway up the tree.
Yeah, so the tree goes up and spreads out into its branches that cast a shadow over the town, right? In the crook of the tree where the branches begin to spread out, there's sort of a room. It's half carved into the tree, half woven out of branches, half built. Above that, also the roof in the canopy of the tree, are the arcane symbols described last session. And inside that room is the rift, the catalyst, and the majority of the group. Up top is Atlas, Morgrim. Did you go with them? Okay, so
I'm trying to find a way in. I don't know where I'm
outside of the tree, so you would be with them.
Okay, so I'm about to poke my head in.
So you're inside with the arguing group. Griff, after throwing his anti-magic potion, just sort of slightly reverses his movements, speaking backwards, and then vanishes because that's basically what he does now. The three of you are up on top of the tree, and you're getting sloshed at the tavern, I guess. You do hear some yelling and screams, and you notice that there is a fire across town. I don't know if you want to respond to that in any way, or...
in the direction of the tree?
No, in the direction of the mayor's office.
Who knows what happened there?
And at the bar, you see a surly dwarf drinking and muttering about birds. Shut up, you're not there. Up at the top of the tree, what's going on, the three of you?
Well, I just finally found my way in, and I look down at Atlas and go, how the heck did you guys get in so easily?
We walked up the stairs. There's a problem.
I run over to...
This is like me. I'm spider climbing, by the way, because I just learned this. I'm like, you like my new move?
I run over to Havok's side, seeing as he has just collapsed onto the floor and is now...
You're not at
You're not at the top of the tree.
You're in the...
Get out of here!
What's the problem?
There's a rift in the tree.
That is a problem. Did anyone throw their anti-magics?
Griff threw one.
Did it do anything?
We
A little
shouldn't
bit.
throw any more, though.
I don't think we should.
Okay, why?
Because the tree is is supplying this area with its nutrients and life. And this area supplies Porta Nova with nutrients and life.
Here's the caveat, though. The tree has supplied life itself by being fed humans.
And other mortal creatures.
And also the rain is killing this town.
Does anyone else see the giant snake in the corner?
It's downstairs.
Yes.
Oh, it's downstairs.
It's downstairs.
Thank God.
It's with him. It's just eyeing up Victus there. Well, technically it's talking with Steno. But
So does everyone agree that we're not killing the tree now?
I think we should focus on
No.
stopping the rain, which maybe these symbols that we're standing on could explain. Atlas, can you decipher them?
I'm going to take a look, too.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Please do.
We both...
I'll give a look-see.
Ooh.
Would that be
Is that spellcraft
knowledge,
or
arcana?
you can use knowledge, arcana, or spellcraft, whichever is higher.
Plus 11 anyways. 13. I didn't do well.
All right.
Oh.
I don't know what Atlas rolled.
You imagine that these have some sort of powerful containment magic.
Okay.
25.
You would know a bit more. So Atlas, drawing upon his professional training,
not just this.
flips through his spell book, not actually looking for anything, just as an effect, essentially, and recalls off the top of his head that these symbols are used to channel and contain magic that already exists in an area. And he believes that this is used to make sure that the rift doesn't grow out of control inside the tree. So there's the rift. This is stabilizing it. It was brought into being by with some sort of catalyst. You probably figured out what that is by now. And the rift is self-sustaining, but in order to keep it from growing out of control, these symbols are in place.
Does Atlas understand if the symbols were put here, and if the symbols are causing the rain, or if the rain is a side effect of the rift?
You don't think that the rain is connected to these symbols, and you're struggling to find a connection to the rift.
I'm struggling to find a rain as a connection to the rift?
Yeah, you're struggling to find a connection between the rain and the
They
rift.
did say the rain was caused by the
Wizards of Hightown.
Wizard of Hightown.
And you notice that you're up in the
WHC
canopy,
or T.
there's
WHT.
no rain up here.
There's no rain up here. Oh, how far can I get before I hit rain?
Probably just a couple hundred feet.
Look, I want to save the dwarf.
Poison doesn't kill you.
So,
And this is a particularly high tree. You're sort of like on the level of the top of the clouds here.
Okay.
geez, I've been climbing a while.
So
Yeah.
do I think there's no
Exhausted.
rain here because...
I mean, it's low clouds.
I know.
Do I think the rain is here because... the rain is not here because we're too high up, or because they've omitted this area of magic?
You're not sure.
Okay. I go back down.
All right.
I follow him.
What have you been doing?
I've
We were.
I've run to Havok's side,
Okay. He's bleeding from his face. His skin is ghostly pale with these black spidery veins all over it.
Cool. I'm going to do a heal
In one
check.
hand is the chunk of adamantium from his homeland, and in the other hand is an anti-magic potion.
Okay. First things first. I try to see, does he have like a death grip on the...
No, they're very loose.
They're very loose? Okay.
Yeah, he's
so
gone limp.
I'm gonna pull out a towel.
Do you have one in your gear list?
That's a good point. I'm gonna pull out a
Mister
blanket.
asking me for towels every fucking minute.
I'm gonna pull out a blanket and
excessive.
carefully pick up the adamantine
Shard.
shard
Yeah, shard catalyst.
and
whatever.
put it on the ground near him or
Okay.
away from him, so
Alright.
that way he's not holding it anymore. I'm
Alright,
gonna do
not
a heal
holding it
check
anymore.
to see if I can try to
Alright.
help him.
Give me a heal check.
Oh, he died. You were
13.
13? You're not sure. He might have explosive mombosis or something.
Damn it!
He's bleeding out of his face. It's kind of slowly. It's a dark, vascular blood as opposed to a bright arterial. I don't know. Arterial blood. And he's still breathing.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic on him.
All right.
Are me, Atlas, and Volley in the room yet?
No. This is what's been going on while you were discussing. You'll enter just after I give him this answer.
Oh, brilliant.
You did not Tech Magic on him.
Alright. I'm gonna yell up. We're gonna need a doctor!
They walk down the little walkway.
We're gonna need a doctor and some towels.
We don't have a doctor
Or towels.
or towels.
Can somebody cast Cure Wounds?
No.
I would suggest not doing that.
How do you know? Have you been talked to
I have a
by some sort
sibling
of
bond
outside
with the
force?
I spent an hour and a half in a car. He wants to die.
My bird senses are tingling, and I sense that if we try and heal him, we'll do more damage.
I like it. Let's do it.
I have no proof of this.
What led you to that conclusion? Because
Yes.
I definitely didn't actually tell you that.
This sounds like something that would be not roleplay EE.
No.
That's also not metagaming. I don't know where she got that from.
I think
Dig it up.
What are you doing?
I think we should try and figure out what it is
Kill
before
'em
we
all.
try and heal it.
Sure. Do you have any knowledge
What
of
is
this? I'm going to do an Arcana check. Do I know Arcana? I don't know. Arcana is not even a skill.
I mean, I can
Knowledge
check for
arcana.
I can
Cool.
check for
It's the
poison.
first.
know
It's
it.
the first knowledge.
I thought it was just
I'll
basic.
check for poisons because that's my specialty.
You don't
But that's
know
all
it.
I can
You
check
can't
for.
do.
I'm going to do knowledge local to see if there's any...
What are you using for check for poisons?
My alchemy and
No.
my poison.
Really stretching there.
Yeah, buddy.
It's not very high though. 9, 10, 11, 12.
You can't tell if this is poison or not.
Okay.
Is
It's
it,
certainly no kind of poison that
is
you
it
use.
an Arcana check we're looking for here?
You can use Arcana.
Alright.
You can use any knowledge skill as long as you justify to me why you're using it.
You there, wizard.
I'm going to do Arcana.
We can settle our differences later. We need to save this man.
Touch something there.
Okay.
Victus.
I reach out my hand.
Victus, did you tell everybody
Muscle
that this
grab.
isn't magic?
Victor.
This is very strong.
Neither of us are.
Okay.
What is happening?
I use an Arcana joint.
Mofo.
Arcana, what?
An Arcana joint?
That's the most powerful
Hey!
thing.
Mofo, you hear two nerds yell in the distance. What were you doing?
An Arcana
I'm going to make an
joint.
Arcana knowledge check
Okay.
of 14.
What are you trying to figure out?
I'm trying to figure out if I understand if the rock that
Yeah, the catalyst.
the catalyst rock, if that's how magical that is,
I'm doing the same.
How magic what?
how its magic is.
How its magic is. Alright. You think that... You know that adamantium is a rare substance, though not particularly magical inherently, right?
So this is adamantium?
Yes, this is a chunk of adamantium. I've retconned it being just a part of the Iron Glacier, because that's just iron, to being a part of the special part of the Iron Glacier, the Adamant Throne.
So like
in
the
the
Iron
Iron
Glacier
Glacier-
was a comet, right?
Yeah, it was a comet that landed...
I'd like this to be the rule for this. As it came through the atmosphere, the heat turned a face of the Iron Glacier into adamantium. You know, like it fused into adamantium.
except the throne's kind of in the middle of it.
Like the core?
like the core.
Looks like they dug it out.
Because it's sort of like a warren of tunnels and stuff now, because the whole thing's been turned into a
Are
fortress.
we implying that adamantium is an alloy of iron?
I'm gonna do my okay. I'm gonna check while you guys decide.
Well, it is magnetic.
In any case,
I knocked
you
it
know
over. You saw that, right? Okay.
In any case,
It's a 7.
Oh yeah, astronomy.
you know that adamantium itself isn't magic, but is very receptive to having, because it's so strong, when you scribe something into it, it won't change for thousands of years. So it's not, this piece of adamantium was enchanted, inscribed, and altered in ways to make it magical. And is just, this was intended to be a very permanent fixture.
Can I decipher the describings?
Do you have like a read magic?
I have the spell read magic.
Yeah, same.
You can cast a spell, read magic, if he has it prepared.
I don't have it prepared, but I can prepare it.
All you need is 6 seconds.
All I would need is 6 seconds.
So what was your
18.
Okay. What were you trying to figure out?
I was actually looking at the catalyst itself using.
You figure out all the
spellcraft.
same things that.
Yeah, I was looking at
Atlas
it. Okay, nothing.
That this
more.
this was intended to last for a long time.
Yeah.
The magic was put into it, and this is a substance that is very receptive to having magic infused into it.
Okay, now
I do that. Sorry.
No, you can do it.
You were saying.
Oh no, I was gonna say now I'm gonna check your body by using Arcana check.
Okay.
See if it's. But I have to roll.
You
again.
know from the man who cast detect magic on it that there's nothing magical about his body except for his fucking enchanted whip, which you already knew was magical.
Who wants the whip?
You're not taking the whip.
If you would like to go through my stuff, I do have my list of
No,
stuff.
that's okay.
Nobody knows how to use the whip.
I spend an Arcana
Volley
point.
gets
there it is.
by the back of the head with a wing.
Here's 6.
I spend an Arcana point
Okay.
and substitute Destruct Undead for Read Magic.
Okay, you can now read magic.
Yes, I cast Read Magic.
All right, you read magic on the catalyst, I'm assuming?
Yes, because it has runes on it. Right?
All right, this catalyst was used to create the rift from scratch. And you think that with sufficient, for mechanical terms, a 9th level spell slot, with sufficient arcane pushing, you could use this catalyst to make a rift.
Whoever made this thing wasn't fucking around, guys. Like, there's only a few wizards in the wizard college that could have made this, and one of them is the headmaster wizard.
And we can't push this stone to make it stop raining by any chance?
Push.
Like as in like influence it.
Here we see the arcane versus divine divide.
Poke.
If
It
I
shifts
pray
it.
hard enough, will this stone break? I believe it's something to do with this stone that is causing our friend to bleed out of his face, which is fully... You'll be okay.
I'd like to make a history check.
All right.
Or maybe even a knowledge nature check, depending on whether or not you think this is natural knowledge, or historic knowledge.
So the way knowledge checks work when I am Dungeon Master is you declare what kind of check you wish to make and why you wish to make it, and then I will tell you the relevant information that you know.
I'd like to make a history check on the home of the hobgoblins.
Okay.
That's not very good.
It was a
I
5.
just rolled 5 times and rolled a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not very good.
Yeah, that's a bit foreboding.
I'm going to
15.
15. All right. I might have notes on this. I do not have notes on this. Or it might be in a different file. I'm not sure.
Making it up on
No, I know all there is to know about the hobgoblins. He's pandering to me. So far away to the northwest, a bit more north than west, although it is basically on the far side of the continent. You know that there's a range of mountains that gives way to giant redwood forests, and beyond the redwood forests, there's tundra. There's tundra and ice, and beyond that, there's a smaller range of mountains that was plowed up by the landing of a great comet that today is now known as the Iron Glacier. The Iron Glacier is the ancestral home of the hobgoblins. Before the Iron Glacier landed, there were no hobgoblins in the world, and we don't know where they came from. No, they're not aliens. That you do know that as a DC 15. No, they're not aliens.
That high.
Because it was thousands of years after this thing landed that the hobgoblins appeared, but they appeared around the Iron Glacier, and they have been at war with the dwarves and the Tengu and orcs and essentially all of their neighbors for a very long time. Because of their access to the Iron Glacier, they make excellent steel, although not very great quantities because they lack for wood, except for when they raid the Great Forest. They have a highly militaristic society ruled over by a grand king who's a bit more like a spiritual figurehead than a actual ruler. So think the Holy Roman Empire, except in Alaska.
Okay. So, do I understand if adamantium reacts in any sort of way with hobgoblin?
No, but you do know that is a sacred material in their culture.
Okay. And do I know it sort of in a joint knowledge nature, or not knowledge, in a joint like knowledge arcana history role, if hobgoblins are adverse, an arcana joint, if hobgoblins are adversely affected by magic?
They're not any more or less adversely affected by magic than
anything else.
Anything else. I mean, you hit them with a lightning bolt, they'll still die.
Right.
No.
And I'd also like to go back to my check on the stone, or I guess it's metal.
Yeah.
Do I know if it has magic on it, or if it was just used as the focus for a spell?
You know that due to the purity and significance of the adamant throne from which this was taken, that the amount of risk to get a piece of the most sacred part of the most sacred location of the most sacred area of the hobgoblin's homeland would have been an extraordinary task. 2, the adamant throne itself has been imbued with magics over the centuries, and indeed was magical when it was first discovered. And 3, this has some dark implications. This either was given or taken, and neither implies something good.
Oh man.
How about we just get him out of here?
Where do we take him? Do we take him home? Do we take him to a hospital?
Take him to the mind flayer. Well, he's not here, but
Mind Flare?
Mine's
Dr. Hampton.
Doctor, we'll take
Mind
him.
Blade! The Mind Blade! I was gonna say,
He's like slashes onto him. Give me his brain.
he's dead for sure!
Yeah, we'll give him to the doctor, let them figure it out, and figure out what we're going to do about this tree.
We don't do anything about the tree.
We have to wait.
We're not doing anything about the tree.
We're going to take care of him first before we take care of the tree. However, taking care of him might include taking care of the tree, so we'll have to keep that in mind. If it's something to do with this rock that killed him.
Maybe we have to throw him into the rift.
He twitches as if to say, I'm not dead.
Maybe
Oh
we
man,
need...
it'd be great if we threw his character into the rift and he got a 1%, and we changed his character levels to magic.
Aha! You gotta play a caster now, bitch. Alright, we need
Either way, we should probably leave. Is that an agreement? You're not even here, so you don't even have a...
Can someone carry Havok?
I'm
Do we
inventing a game.
I'm the strongest character. And
No, you're not.
also-
I am.
Really, what's your strength?
+3.
I'm at +4. Right, I'm also at +3, but I can get up to +5. Thank you very much.
I can get up to a +6.
Alright, put him away, boys. Get rid of the rules.
Eventually, I'll hit a +8. Thank you very much.
So will I! I can turn into a motherfucking dragon later on.
Okay,
Now
One day I'll
now
be
you
a
can't. You
+0.
take 6. You take 6 strength damage.
I will ray of enfeeblement you and throw you through a rift.
All right.
okay.
All right. Enjoy that.
First things first, we need to clean this man up.
Okay.
Towels.
I don't have any towels.
How many towels?
Nobody has towels here.
Damn it.
press to digitate him.
There are
Their poor absorption talent.
I know, we're just kind of smearing it off of his face.
there are a couple of tapestries in this room that you could appropriate.
Alright, I'm going to use a quick appraisal check on them.
Make the NPCs carry them. We got plenty of them.
I'd like to grab a small one off the wall and wrap it
21?
around the stone.
These are mostly just to cut down on the windshield.
We're
because
using
this was a hastily thrown together structure.
Blanket.
Cool.
I mean, it's an old like
Let the
druidic
NPCs carry them.
location, so it's like filled with holes, and there's not like any like stuff to. So the wind comes through here.
I
So
take down the paintings and I pull out my knife and cut the
they're tapestries.
Cloth.
tapestries. Oh, okay, sorry. So I take them down and cut them into sort of like hand-sized rag,
Okay.
and then start getting rid of the
Why do
blood.
you
You
Wax on.
mash the face of.
No, I
Angu.
use the other side. I don't use the painting side.
It's embroidered,
Oh, it's
so
embroidered.
it's sort of the same on either side.
Alright.
So you mash the face of Angu into the blood, and you hear Orm just sort of like hiss and like shift uncomfortably.
Look, you get the irony of this situation, don't you, snake?
Oh, jeez.
We don't know what kind of snake is he. Does he have like a gargantuan rattle? Do we know what kind of snake he is?
I figured it was like a boa constrictor.
Yeah, it's probably like a boa or something, but I like
For
the
some
idea
reason
of
in
a
my mind it was
helicopter's
purple.
rattle.
Apocalypse Now, like a fleet of helicopters.
Alright, yeah, you clean up most of the blood.
Cool.
It's still leaking, but it's a lot slower now.
Alright. I point at
No.
fucking... What?
No,
What?
don't point them
Are
in.
you not going to pick this man up?
No, I'm going to let the NPCs do it.
We don't have any.
We don't have any
We have two of
NPCs.
them. They're in there.
No, we can't control other people's characters.
We can
Yeah,
let them carry him
Right
around.
now, they're in an intense conversation
The,
right
the,
now.
the two druids are speaking in Druidic off in the corner.
Yes.
And the bard is listening in, trying to learn Druidic.
One of the druids might jump off the cliff at some point in time soon, but
No.
No, he'll just stick around here in case he ever comes back and wants
Sounds
to play
good.
that same character.
Can we try to give Havok something to drink?
You can sure try.
Man, I'm so.
This is your opportunity to poison him.
Yeah,
I plowed an
You've got
egg.
12 of them.
I'm leaving. I'm just walking out now.
what? Yep, you just said you were going to help carry. Do any of us have the strength to carry Havok?
No.
You probably have the strength to drag Havok, and if you had two people, you could probably sling in between them.
Okay.
You recall,
I'm not
because you
here.
spent several days walking in the woods
Mega
towards
Fist Man is in here.
Anguith, that every night he would set up a tarp, and if there weren't any trees, he had two 10-foot poles. So you know that he's got stuff that you could use to make a like a stretcher or something.
All right, I go
back at his yak.
I go into his bag.
It's not in there. It's at his
He
yak.
left it at his yak. Shit.
All right, hold
We've
on.
got my blanket.
I got canvas.
82,607.
But Atlas, pull him back in here to pick
While
up
all
his
this is
stuff.
going on, Mofo, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna brush up on my dwarven from grade school with that dwarf. I thought.
Okay.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna chat cat.
How long's it been?
Did you ever go to the yeah, you were there because you fought the druids because you killed all the bugs. This is from the place.
Oh,
that
the
you
ladder man?
Yeah, the ladder man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll hang out with the ladder man.
Como estás, la biblioteca?
What do you want, human? You're a human, right?
I'm gonna ask on his preference in ladder shape, whether he prefers one of those bendy ones or if he just likes a traditional A-frame. Or
So you actually engage him on one of the few
like the
topics that
painter's
he talks
ladders, you know what I'm
readily
talking about, where you
about.
can like bend them like 4 or 5 places. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. He says he explains to you that those are masterwork ladders, and he begins quoting prices and stuff. And he explains that he prefers extremely long ones with 2 hooks on the end, because the whole point is that you hook up to a low-hanging branch, climb up, and get the fruit. And there's plenty of tall buildings that these are done from. Although most of the fruit is collected after the fact, and he just keeps on. He's been flying himself with a bit of drink, so his
That's a good
tongue's
way
a bit
to
loose. He's just
kill the time.
You gotta ask him about rope ladders.
All right. Back to the argument.
Argument.
I'm gone. I already left.
So
You're gonna
Polly
have to
storms down the spiral staircase.
How much can you lift?
I can lift 70 pounds.
Heavy load 76.
But you can drag double that, can't you?
Yes, but I don't want to
I
drag this
don't
man down
want.
steps.
Oh, I can lift off the ground
push double,
152.
drag 4
So maybe if
times.
we share him.
What
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's
We're
lift
sharing you, Havok.
overhead and then drag.
Oh yeah.
Oh, actually, there's lift overhead, lift off ground, and then drag.
All right, so I lift with my knees. We lift.
Good. You don't need to make a saving throw.
We lift up Havok and start walking him down. Is it stairs or is it a ramp?
I think it's stairs. I think they're like stairs cut into the wood.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so we're going to start carrying him down stairs wise.
All right.
No, this tree needs a rip.
Now
Keep it
I
alive.
have a.
I could grease up the stairs and we can just shoot him down. Just
So I have
What's
a
your
question.
fucking alignment?
Would I have known?
I am 182 pounds.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm not in my armor. Forget that. I am 145 pounds of sinewy hobgoblin body, according to my notes.
I mean, that's a heavy load. We can carry you heavy load wise because because there's also the stuff we're
Just
carrying.
2 of us.
But we can. We're gonna need help. Can you help me on the head? Like I get one shoulder, you get the other shoulder.
Freaking I can.
5 pounds. Collectively, we can get about 10 pounds
What
of
I
mage hand
have
here.
observed from the first time I was hit with rain, if rain can penetrate clothing, or if I
yes,
just felt,
rain will penetrate clothing.
is there anything that
Wood will stop rain. Heavy tree canopy will stop rain. You would imagine that you couldn't make because we talked about this when would an umbrella stop it? It was like the answer was no. But if you were to make like a little boat, that's kind of like an umbrella, like a coracle, that might stop it.
Would
you
Tensu's
guys are
magical
not
disc-
gonna like this, but let's cut off a branch. We need a way to cover Havok because we're not gonna move
with a
fast.
branch?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go out in the rain.
You also recall that
branch?
Havok seemed amazingly resistant to the rain when he was stumbling drunk through it.
Havok was cheating.
Cracking his whip. Was he?
Yeah, damage reduction is different from energy reduction.
It's
DR dash just means physical attack, so you don't have energy resistance.
all right. Havok was cheating. He didn't know that.
I know
Atlas.
it's an obscure rule.
Atlas.
I mean, the last Josh, the last dungeon master didn't care. So
Yeah, well, 2 damage.
yeah, 2 things, whatever.
Atlas.
What?
Please make apologies to the snake and grab a branch.
I don't speak to the snake. I don't.
How is the
He
branch?
understands us, though.
How is the branch going
It doesn't go through canopy. The rain. We're going to be moving slow.
Canopy.
Am I outside
You
yet?
and
Not a
Havok.
small
This
set
is
of
just-
leaves. Let's get to the bottom of the tree and we'll
Yeah,
deal
you're
with
you're
this.
tapping your foot outside.
Just like, what? No.
All right, we'll make our way down the tree,
All right.
working together.
Yeah.
The small bird lady grabs his legs. The slightly taller elf, right?
Yeah.
An elf, grabs his arms, and you sort of waddle him down the stairs.
And I'm on the bottom because I think I'm
How
taller
tall are
than
you? Because I'm imagining the feet on my shoulders.
I'm 5'9".
Okay, the feet are on my shoulders.
Yeah, and so because I'm lower, we're actually matched up height wise.
I haven't been able to lift anything for a while. My back's been bad.
Just get in the middle. Just give us a little bit.
I'll
On a
see
scale,
that.
on a scale of 1 to 10,
He's
how
not-
funny do I find this as
He's
they're
not
coming down with
stiff
him?
as a board.
Stiff as a board.
5, I guess.
So, neutral. I am neutral.
yeah,
Right in the
you're
middle.
pretty neutral. You just think this is a waste of time.
Yeah. Should have left him.
So where are you guys going? Are
People
you gonna-
die every day.
and-
We're gonna take him to the
Is
tavern.
Mofo going to leave the tavern? No.
Yeah.
No, we're going.
3,000!
Yeah.
3,001!
We'll see.
So
What's the conversation
I'm talking
going?
about ladders.
yeah.
Ladder bro.
So
Is he dead yet?
I'm imagining you start talking about what's the best kind of ladders to do pull-ups on, and how do monkey bars relate to ladders because they're kind of like ladders,
Send your
My
your
weasel.
Ladders for your hands.
to get help.
Who am I going to send it to?
The people we left a doctor in the bar.
So he's not here. So how would that play out?
We just leave him.
Hey,
Oh, okay. I'm going to send my weasel to corral everyone so that they'll magically appear. At
Your
some
weasel
point.
can't talk.
And your
No, but I
weasel
can send a message with it.
can you here? I've got a
Your
nail
weasel
and
has
a
a
paper.
No! Did you hear what he just said?
And ink and
No, a nail and some paper. I have twine, ink, a pencil, and paper. We're gonna
It's
tie a
acceptable.
note.
It's not a living thing. Is it a living thing?
Holy smokes! It's my companion.
Is the weasel just magic, or is it like an actual?
it is a
weasel?
spirit weasel, but it's more like the weasel spirit has created a weasel body for itself, sort of deal. Like the ancestral weasel is possessing a common weasel to be her
Can it
companion.
would killing this? Never mind. This isn't important.
You're carrying a body right now.
Let's go.
All right.
Lower down the legs.
She would be able to get a new weasel with the same spirit were something to happen to this weasel.
Okay, that's good to know.
I'm just
I don't like
I'm
you.
yelling at him at this point to hurry the fuck up and get down the stairs.
They're carrying a body that's
Hurry
spewing
up!
blood.
How are we gonna get out
Those stairs are
of the
slippery.
tree?
Huh?
Like the
Brian's
tree's
not
gonna
getting
be good
through,
at
it's
some
fine.
point. Can we get house to house without getting too much?
Let's get to the
You
bottom.
were able to do that before, so.
Are we at the bottom of the tree?
Yes, you're at the bottom of the tree.
Okay, cool.
Everybody
All right.
except Mofo's at the bottom of the tree now.
All right, so let's go house to house.
Okay.
We're gonna have to run as hard as we can.
All right. What's your speed?
30. We're carrying something, so we're gonna be moving at.
I know, but I want to match you.
So we'll be moving at 15.
Okay, I can match you.
What would be an appropriate check for you guys to make?
Strength.
Strength
Cooperation.
Strength check.
Can I use?
Actually, cooperation seems like the biggest dick move.
I'm gonna do.
So here's how it's gonna work. This is me being an absolute bastard.
All right.
We're gonna use probably strength. So use your strength modifier
Yeah.
to increase or decrease the roll you make in an attempt to match each other's rolls.
Okay.
So you're both gonna roll a d20, and then your strength modifiers will be added together and use that to decrease the difference.
You better hope you roll higher.
This is not an actual rule. This is me
Roll
just being weird. That's a 10. That's an 8.
Oh, I'm gonna do -2 to have 8.
That'll do.
But he has a -2.
I have a 6.
We
He has a
we
-2.
did 2 apart
Yeah,
though.
we're 2 apart.
All right, that'll do.
Cool. And I'm gonna.
You're both equally
You
weak.
managed
in other
to
words.
coordinate.
Yeah.
You're both so weak that you stumble at the same rate.
Can I use oratory to like do a marching?
No.
To do like a marching theme.
I'll tweet.
You can still do a marching song assisted by the background bard,
The bar just doesn't care.
but it's only aesthetic. So if you'd like to sing a marching song just to set the scene,
1, 2,
Tweet,
3, 4.
tweet,
1, 2,
tweet,
3, 4.
tweet.
Interesting to have it on the 2s.
okay.
All right, we made it back to the bar.
You arrive at the tavern in time for Mofo to be on his way out, or what?
I guess so. Yeah.
He
Is
runs
the
into
doctor
you
in
guys at the door, and now you're all together.
Mofo's bought a ladder.
We have 2 problems.
You have add a 10-foot ladder to your inventory. You successfully talked him out of a sample ladder.
Is it a folding
Yeah,
ladder?
he made a ladder.
It's a magical ladder. It just
Out of stool
comes out.
pegs.
Yeah, out of stool pegs.
I would like to communicate with
Is the doctor in there?
Something. He's a professional.
Victus.
Is Dr. Mindquad in
It's
there?
Victus. I would like to communicate
God.
with
I
Victus
see.
to
We
put
burst
him
open
down
the
on a
door.
table.
Tell us
Mofo,
that.
we have 2 problems.
Talking to me.
I'm literally talking to him.
Fuck you, man.
Go ahead.
Mofo, we have 2 problems. 1, our friend Havok is dying. And 2, Morgrim has decided to use syncopation.
Decide to do what?
It's a reference to you chirping on the twos.
Okay. Victus, can we put Havok down?
Yes.
Thank you.
Alright, so we put him on the table.
Okay.
Oh my god. That's like the third body that he bumped.
What time did we leave off last session? I forget.
I'm
What
gonna
time
make
of day
a-
it
What
was?
time of day?
It was the end of the day, so it
Was
was
the end
like
of-
sunset.
Yeah, so you go over to some,
dark.
like a family of five's dinner. You swipe like their like the meal had just been put down. Like, they just started. You swipe it all off the table with a bleeding hobgoblin. Just lay him down and he spews a bit more blood into the face of a 3-year-old who begins wailing and it's a bit of chaos.
I'd like to walk over to the dwarf at the bar.
Okay.
I have spent my whole life waiting for this moment.
All
The
right.
dwarf is dead.
Shut up. My spell stops, then he starts to feel the effects of the poison again. He's been fine this whole time. How much time has passed?
He passes out.
Oh, great! I shove an ass.
blowing
his eyes.
Yeah!
I don't need
Okay,
to
give me
just sleight of hand or anything.
give me a heal check to apply the antidote.
Sure.
Sleight of hand check. Is that like choo choo?
That's a bluff check.
25.
25 for healing. Yeah.
Trick this
You
child into
manage not to
thinking it's
choke him to
a
death, and you apply it in the proper manner. And his breathing becomes a little less poisoned and a little like he's no longer knocked out. He's now just sleeping.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
no
my
longer
specialty is poison. I know he's
swollen
been healed.
crossbones coming out of
I will
his-
cross off one of my antidotes.
Yeah,
The
you
doctor
see the
in
little
the house?
debuff square disappear.
Is the doctor in
Yeah,
there?
Dr. Hippocampus is giving an ink block test to the family who is traumatized by Havok's
Awesome.
body.
I yell out to him and tell him this is his responsibility now.
He doesn't respond in any capacity because
That's fine.
he's not here.
This is fine.
He ignores you completely.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
Dr. Hippocampus, do as much as you possibly can.
And then we leave him.
We're gonna leave.
Feeling instantly better, I turn my attention back to my companion Havok.
Okay.
Gotta figure out what else I can do.
That guy-
Alice, what's the
dying.
plan?
Yes.
You know that, right?
Wasn't
Yes.
Havok eating a bunch of
Right.
bugs earlier?
I don't know if that's connected.
Should we make him throw up?
I think that you might be drawing straws if you're trying to just be like, oh, you're just a stone. You know,
Drawing.
you're picking, goddamn.
What?
Drawing straws?
Alice, what's the plan?
Pulling at straws.
Oh, okay. Those are two different metaphors.
No, it's the same thing.
I cure.
Are you going to cure
Oh, there it is.
sight wounds this man? We need to do something. And I don't know anything about medicine. I
Should
only
we-
know the opposite of
Should
medicine.
we try and heal him?
I'm not the person that should have showed up for this campaign, for this episode.
Should I punch
Same.
him?
Yeah, every single
Same
one of our
thought.
support characters are gone.
Pretty much.
Oh, good luck.
Can anyone heal other than me?
Nope.
Okay. Frank, I knew I was gonna have to waste a spell. Alright.
Or you could just let him be. I mean, it's...
No! That's against every fiber of my character.
Can
No.
we out DPS the disease?
I guess because he's here and because it'd be interesting.
Oh,
information
now
to
he's
know.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, shut up. What's his face? Dr. Hippocampus Mindblade. We'll walk over to you. He'll hand you like 3 more potions that he's made in his spare time.
Fabulous. 3
And
more potions.
he says, "I just want to let you know, the Hobgoblin's evil, or at least part of him is." And then he walks away.
Right.
This whole
Can
evil
someone
thing is
detect? I can detect evil!
Oh, you can?
I can!
Oh, I didn't even need to do it then. Use detect evil on him.
Yeah, hold on.
Can you specify specific locations that are evil rather than...
Wait for it.
Okay.
Use detect evil on him.
Chaos, evil.
Does it work like
Should I do
magic
just
does?
evil?
Yeah, whatever you
How does
want.
it work?
Okay.
Different.
We're gonna read about it.
Basically, just detecting.
If there's one thing I know,
alignment.
it's that I don't know how to use detect evil.
It's a 60-foot cone.
Oh, so just like...
Yeah.
It's such a huge area.
I grab a couple drinks from the bar and give one to Alice. Say we need to figure something out.
Alright.
What kind of drinks do you want to get?
Bourbon? Yeah, you good with that?
Okay.
That'll run you about 7 silver.
That's fine.
Alright, that's a level 1 spell.
I'm glad
Here
that
we
you
go.
didn't say, like, oh, 5 gold.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate when people do that.
Alright, so you cast
What's the silver to
detect
gold
evil on
ratio?
him
How many silver
to
to
1 to
verify.
10.
1 to 10.
silver.
They're
So-
all
so-
triple to one Jesus.
So Morgan casts detect evil on Havok to verify.
I want to say that I also
Hippocampus's-
spread the cone out to the room, so I'd like to know if there's any other evil I detect in the room as well. Just to make things interesting.
Unless any of you are evil, I don't really think so. One of the kids from the family.
Is now evil.
It's just
The one that got the blood spit off.
no, not him actually.
I walk up to the family.
It's the infant.
You need to talk to your kid.
Oh my god.
Because
Antichrist.
as we know, all babies are evil.
Actually.
Yeah.
But you notice, because you hold this for a few seconds, and you notice that Havok does not detect as evil, and then he detects as evil, and then he doesn't detect as evil. And he's doing this in a pattern that perfectly suggests a heartbeat.
Chirps on the 2.
Every
on the
time
two.
his heart beats, he detects his evil.
We need to take his heart out.
So he's got something in his heart, or his heart itself is evil.
We need
Not
to remove the heart.
metaphorically, literally.
Or something in
It's
his
the shaman.
or
You get to perform
something
surgery.
that's possessing.
I'll have you know that I took heart surgery class. 90 years
You
ago.
have never heard of anything like this before.
Fabulous.
I think
Okay.
I remember what the color of the
It would
textbook was.
explain why there's black blood, because I guess black is evil, so it's turning his blood evil when it comes through.
Hey. Let's not go on record and say that black is evil. That seems like Daniel.
I'm pretty sure the last
Black
time,
always seems like the shorthand for evil.
pretty sure the last time I played a campaign where I saw black blood, I cut somebody's arm off.
That's true.
And
That's
it
true.
also
the last time that
didn't
happened.
work.
I would like to use a perception of 18 to determine if
Well,
I
it's everywhere on him.
cast stabilize on him. Will it
Stabilize
hold
is
him?
for somebody who has the dying condition. He does not have the dying
He does
condition.
not have the
He's
dying
just
If we,
dying.
so
I
if
could
we
give him the
cast-
dying condition.
If we
Stop
cast
it.
Cure Wounds on him, his heart might take damage.
Yes, but
What if we
not.
time it?
Clear.
Well, the problem is the
Not on the
heart.
two.
So like,
Wait, I can.
Well,
I can
rounds
do
are
this.
6-second increments.
wait.
That's
So
hard.
if it's only when the heart beats, does that mean it's not the heart, but rather the electro, like the little?
his brain, his brain's evil.
No, it's
Oh,
like that.
let's
little-
get the doctor.
It's
He's
like
with
the
heart.
thing that the pacemaker affects. It's like there's
Go get a
nerves
table.
within there that cause like electrical impulses. So electricity is evil.
Out of this.
We gotta.
He just smacked it with glass.
You thrown at the guy who
The
didn't make you
dwarf barkeep
bacon.
behind is like, hey!
Is that the same guy who
Memory lapse.
Is it the same? Well, wait. Is it the same guy that couldn't cook your breakfast?
No,
No,
that's
the-
a different guy.
that's
No,
a-
that's an orc.
Yeah, there's a half orc or something.
All right, guys. What do we do? Does any of us have the knowledge or the ability to help with this?
I'm going to use a knowledge
Alright.
Shitty
religion.
bourbon anyway.
Boy, me, Bane.
Nothing. I got a 9.
What are you trying to figure out?
For a knowledge religion on anything about this kind of condition.
You're not sure, but this sounds like cursed territory.
Blah.
Do you know any spells that can get rid of curses?
Remove curse. I do know that one.
I read about this in the book.
That
once.
makes
It's
sense.
called.
Aptly named.
That seems to check out.
Yeah, I could prepare that one if you want, but I don't think it's gonna help.
Oh, you can use that one.
What do you think it could be then? What is evil but not magical?
Intentions.
Are you saying his heart has malintention?
I think he's saying Havok's a dick.
No.
All right. In a rage of
Or it's just a different kind of magic.
in a rage of being tired of listening to them trying to
What
figure
kind of
out.
magic isn't detected by detect magic?
Magic.
DM
There's lots.
magic.
There's lots of ways to block detect magic, including a thin sheet of lead.
Yeah.
We just lift up his skin.
You do know from your hobgoblin lore check that the reason hobgoblin's skin is gray is because of all the iron that enters into their body and diet from living in close proximity to the iron glacier.
But iron is not that.
The +1 natural armor class I've decided is not from my scars, but from the fact that we just eat a shit ton of iron, and our body's incorporated into our skin.
It's a foot of iron.
I need to eat more carrots.
It's less than, but it's not a thin sheet.
No, I'm just saying that he's
He's got iron.
filled with minerals, rich with them.
I leave. I walk out and I'm going to the library.
Okay, that's a good decision. You hop between undercovers. You notice that the rain is starting to light up just a little bit, and eventually you reach the library. Is anybody else
What?
going with
Do
us?
you want to carry him?
No,
to the
I don't. I
library?
don't tell anybody. I just walk out while
We
they're
have a
all
doctor here.
discussing.
The doctor can stabilize him. Let's go to the library personally, and we can always walk back.
I don't want to leave him.
He'll be fine.
I'm alright.
There's a doctor in the house.
By the way, it's midnight. Is the door even open to the library right now?
The door is locked.
Okay, I break in.
Yeah.
All right. How do you want to break in?
Strength. I don't have a sleight of hand.
Okay.
I left without you
I
guys.
know.
You guys
I'm
were
gonna
talking.
Stay
I
with Havok.
left.
You can go to the library, but please come back with any.
Give me a
information you
strength
find.
check in an attempt to bust down the door.
Oh, not great.
You didn't bring the rogue or the other rogue that's also the super strong guy.
14.
Yeah.
14.
Are you sure?
No.
You forget to kick at the door and instead slam your shoulder into it, and it hurts a little bit.
I'm gonna do it again.
All right, I'm
Okay.
gonna make my way to
Make
the library.
another check.
Oh, jeez, last like
All right. You slam into the door again.
doesn't work.
I'm gonna make my way to the library.
You see a frail sorcerer swordsman slamming himself over and over into a huge wrought iron door.
Oh, it's iron door?
That door is made out of metal. They designed those things to protect the fucking books. I'm gonna go.
No one's ever in this library. Why would they do this?
Isn't there a man specifically always in the library? That's
With his
shtick?
assistant.
You hear a couple of sliding of locks, and the door opens, and Morose in a nightgown with a little. He's got little sleeping caps over each of his elven ears. Opens the door and says, "Do you mind? Some of us are trying to sleep."
It's an emergency.
I just kind of opened the
sure
door.
Oh, is that a fire in the distance?
We have no knowledge of this.
It looks like it's coming from the mayor's house.
The entire
the north half of town is burning down.
You would think the necrotic rain would put it out.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
Does rain put out fire?
Yeah, it's sort of starting to go out a bit.
Or does it like turn it into death fire, like divinity style?
It just
Grease
blew.
rain.
What do you want?
I need to look for a book.
Then you can come back during library
I just
hours.
pushed the door open.
He's
an old
He
frail
stabs
man.
you.
You can try.
No, so you push the door open against him? Alright, making a contested strength check as he attempts to...
He's an old fribid man.
Yeah, he rolled a 1, so you're probably going to
If I roll a 1. No, I got 9 plus 3 plus 3. Yeah.
Alright, so you push the door open. He's very indignant as you brush by.
Nothing personal, man.
This is an outrage.
The mind never sleeps.
I approach.
He begins lighting candles and setting up. He disappears off to a side room and comes back with pants.
Thank you. I approach the aged elf and I say, "Do you know anything?"
He's a drow.
Oh,
God, man,
You know
why
what?
would you do that?
In the eyes of Rictus, all elves are created equal.
Okay, whatever. Morose doesn't care. He's a nihilist.
We have a question. I have a question for you. Do you know what could possibly be causing an evil heartbeat
Non-magic.
in a non-evil man?
I would have to
Non-magic.
think.
I don't know if he's not.
And it's also
This guy
we
knows everything
literally
in
know
this
that
whole
he's not
library.
evil. Yes,
I don't know
we
about
cast detect evil.
I would guess, and he snaps his fingers, and out of the shadow scurs his little Ratman assistant, fully clothed, all ready.
Damn, Skaven.
Here to get books, you know. And he's like, row 7A, middle section, bottom shelf, the big one with the silver hinges.
I'm gonna see.
Rat skirts.
I'm gonna see if I can beat his assistant this
All
time.
right, make a.
I have an actual library. I was a librarian.
What's your movement speed?
You've done this before.
Yeah, I know. I literally did it.
What's your movement speed?
30 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's faster than you.
No, but I'm trying to find the book before he does.
Yeah, and you both would just describe the location, so it's just.
No, I already took off. I was looking for a book
All
specifically.
right,
for
so try and figure out which book.
it. Okay.
You don't know what the book is.
16 plus 7 plus.
Either you're
I got a
closer-
26.
A 26? Okay, it's in the restricted section, and you don't have the keys.
I break that gate down.
All right, make a strength check.
I'm gonna find
Made
it
out of metal.
All right, 17.
You take a negative level from the wards.
Uh-huh.
It's a temporary one, so for one day, -2 to every roll you make.
Oh.
Don't fuck with me. Yeah, and the rat comes back with the book.
I'd like to put Havok in the recovery position.
Oh, back at the
Atlas is still,
slide him into the recovery
Atlas is
position.
still in the tavern as well,
Okay.
and Atlas is going to inspect Havok's body. I'd like to know: are his fingernails clipped? Is his beard raggedy? Does he have long and shaggy hair? Is he dirty?
Okay, this guy has spent last night drunk in a stable, so he's filthy.
Yeah.
He looks like he hasn't shaved since before you guys were captured by the orcs. He hasn't shaved since then. His fingernails are long and jagged, but you notice that when he rages, they grow into claws, so that's to be expected. He seems like he was worse for wear before he started puking blood.
Atlas, let's get
And
him a
there are a
sponge
couple of half-digested beetle bits all down his front.
Have we looked? I'm gonna remove his clothing.
How much?
There are children in the room.
I don't care.
bath.
I'm gonna search his body for wounds.
I'm gonna get warm water and towels from the kitchen and bring it back.
Towels.
Morgan, you don't need to do that.
I'm gonna give a sponge bath!
Bam, he's clean.
Oh my god, I forgot!
All right, you unstabilify
I
him.
appreciate that so much. I was not ready.
Now I'm gonna search his body for wounds.
All right, he twinges in pain whenever you touch him, but you don't find any open wounds on his body. He's covered head to toe in scars that transition into tattoos at about halfway down his forearm. Perfectly, like it's ritual scarring. A few of the scars seem a bit out of place just from old combats and such, but he doesn't seem to have been injured recently. In fact, I don't think I've actually taken a wound. No, I got punched in the head the first session. For your... No, not you.
Repeatedly punched in the head.
Yeah, repeatedly punched in the head for no reason. Yeah, so he's got a couple of bruises on his head, I guess. I don't know. You don't find anything that would suggest an injection or a stab wound.
Do you think there's a way we could temporarily bring him back to consciousness? To...
He's dead.
Now hold on, he drank a bunch of alcohol. What's a cure for alcohol? Charcoal?
Atlas reaches into his bag and he pulls out like a really fine, like glass, like Fabergé looking thing.
Did you take alchemist's kindness as a thing?
Oh, no, I do have cologne. So I give him a blast with cologne. Does that like work like smelling salts?
It doesn't work like smelling salts, but he does cough and like he does become a little bit. He doesn't wake up or anything, but he is a bit more animate for a few moments.
Well, at least the smell's gone.
You already got rid of the smell with your meditation.
Smell.
No, I just cleaned it.
Oh,
I didn't change the smell.
oh, you could have.
I could.
Should have.
Wouldn't cleaning get rid of the smell? I'm sorry.
He does smell a bit like regurgitated alcohol.
Little bits.
Yeah.
I didn't think
And
that.
Chanel number 5.
Back at the library, Victus has been handed the book, which Morose begins reciting in a monotone voice.
Why did you need the book?
Because he's morose, it's what he does. Let's see.
It's like going into a Catholic church. You
I don't
just
think
recite it while it's standing up.
I don't think I've been in this library, so this is new to me.
Yeah, last time we tried to go, Zach's guys had a thing, like a vision, right?
He begins to list off various curses and arcane maladies, trying to zero in on what sounds like the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you supply him with any helpful information? Right, so you explain that. What do you tell him?
I tell him that trying to eschew details about the tree because I don't know who might know, but I mentioned he had found a black rock, and some sort of magic spell seemed to have been cast, and he collapsed onto the ground.
The rock was glowing red hot.
And the rock was glowing red hot, and then when the thing happened, the rock stopped glowing red hot. True?
No, it's still red hot.
Oh, it's still red hot.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Are you
It's
carrying
just
it
back
around?
there, sitting right on the wood.
We come back. Well, there goes that tree.
No, Victus has it. Victus picked it
It's
up
in
with
his
blanket.
bag, right?
No, put it down next to him. I specifically said.
So he put it down in a little pile of
Oh, actually, I have it.
Oh, you
Because
took
I
it?
picked it up to inspect it.
All right,
That's
so
right.
And then I wasn't carrying
So
it.
you just kept it. Yeah, it's still
I
red
got
hot.
it with me. It's still hot.
Yeah. You're keeping that so you can make rips whenever you want, aren't you?
That does seem exactly like something my character would do.
And so I also described that when he collapsed to the ground, he started coughing up black blood and it started coming out of his eyes and face in general. And we cast Detect Magic and we didn't detect anything, but when we cast Detect Evil, we detected his heartbeat was evil.
So he flips through a couple of pages. Well, he doesn't flip through a couple of pages. He has the rat flip through a couple of pages while he mentally does it.
Yeah.
And he begins describing what is essentially soul poison. And he suggests that the best remedy would be a ritual of some kind to purify the occupant's soul of the malady.
We do know somebody who's good at rituals.
We do know somebody who's good at rituals. But this seems to be something that would require divine energies and probably a place of power.
Do you know of any places of power nearby?
Besides the great tree Angu,
That one's not an option because the druids are currently blocking us from getting in.
that makes sense. All druids are liars and assholes. Slide that on the table. Moros doesn't particularly care where you go, but he does say that a temple that would accept a sick person would most likely belong to the religion of Psyche, which you know because Dr. Hippocampus Mindblade worships the goddess of dreams, Psyche.
Do we know where the closest one of those temples are?
There's several small shrines in town, but if you want a big proper temple, it would be in Porto.
Shoot.
Which is a mere 3 to 4 days' journey to the east.
Beer. Alright. Do we have... We're going to have to get a cart to carry this guy.
We've got a yak.
Wait, it's got a yak.
We got a yak. We can throw him on the yak. Alright. Let's go get the yak.
Wait! I need to find
You're not
your
here.
stuff. Oh, sorry. We need to find his stuff.
Volley is also rifling through whichever books he would like. No? Alright.
Yes.
You can use potions in a particular way to test them. So, like, without consuming the potion,
Yeah, you
can
dip
give
a
like
little finger in.
like a little stopper,
Yeah.
right? And I'm going to apply a bit of healing potion to Victus, not to Victus, to Havok.
You
All right.
walk up to me. Drink this.
It tastes-
What would that normally do?
You rub it on this tooth.
Normally, it would see. So, like, if you we say it's a potion, and I don't know what it does.
Yeah.
I could give him like a dab, and if it feels good, it'll feel good.
Yeah.
And if it feels like it's acid, it'll feel like acid. So it
Yeah.
gives you a sense of if it's good.
So you
or
want to
bad,
see if
or
this will
it's-
harm him or not.
Yeah.
So you dip a little finger into it and apply to the gums.
No. Head on. Apply directly to the forehead.
Yeah. You exfoliate him with it. He doesn't seem to react particularly much to it. As if it was a normal healing potion, but there's no he doesn't perk up a lot.
Oh, okay.
But he doesn't cringe.
No, he doesn't pull away. He does sort of like a bit of blood comes out of his mouth on your finger when you apply it, if you apply it to his mouth, but that's about it.
All right, I stop her my potion.
And he's mumbling what he had been mumbling before about where Doom is, but much weaker in a hoarse voice that is often choked with blood.
So he's talking about a place?
Maybe.
Kind of knowledge local? 15?
Doom is not.
You're thinking that maybe Doom is upon him because he looks like he's about to die.
Damn metaphors.
I mean, other than that, or maybe Doom is some place that he knows of, or something. He's asking where Doom is as if it was a proper noun.
Alright, so we start making our way back to the, or at least I do, start making my way back to the tavern.
Okay.
Going from tree to tree.
Alright.
Alright, I guess
Eventually you
it's
make it back to the tavern.
cool. I open up the door. We need to get him to the nearest Psyche temple.
Fabulous. Did you happen to see his yak on your way over?
But do we know where his yak is? His yak is probably in the stable.
We could probably follow the peak marks.
His yak is probably in the stable.
Well, we know he went to the stable the first night we got here.
Yeah.
To stable his yak.
So let's go to the stable.
Alright. When you reach the stable, you're confronted by the stable's owner, who is a sort of portly human man. And he's like, what can I get you? You look like you could use...
Is there a
some
yak in
transport."
there?
It's a stable.
It's a stable. We have lots of animals.
Yes. One of my friends came in. He was staying inside of the stable before. Large, hobgoblin-y looking man.
Yeah.
His armor will still be there too. As I point to the unarmored.
Oh, did you bring Havok with you?
No,
Yeah.
did we?
We have
I did not carry Havok.
Yeah.
We'll grab him and put him on the yak when we get the yak.
I make it my business to keep my stable secure, and I'm not just going to give out animals entrusted to my care to anybody who claims to be a friend or associate of those who belong to
I'm
them.
going to do a diplomacy check to try to convince him that I know Havok well, and I tell him that Havok is sickly, is not available to be able to talk to him, and we need to get his shit over to a temple to get healed.
Okay.
18.
Yeah, you convince him quite handedly.
Cool.
Through a combination of fast talk and honesty, he ends up believing you. And he requests that all you need to do is pay the cost of the amount of time that they stay there, which is 2 nights, so it's like 10 silver.
Cool. I'll pay 10 silver.
Does anybody else want to do anything else?
Do we find all his stuff?
Yeah, his stuff is strewn about the stable.
Cool.
And the yak has taken great care not to step on any of it.
Well, since I'm fabulous at finding shiny things, I scour for all his equipment.
Alright, you take it.
Do I miss anything?
No.
I get the yak repaired, and I also take out the tarp.
You get the yak repaired?
Prepared.
I heard repaired.
Yeah, I had repaired as well.
I pull out a wrench.
Drive it up on the ramp.
Oh man, this thing's leaking like a bastard.
Oil change.
I like to think that I like walk up to the side of the yak and like lift up, and there's like hair.
Slaps the top of the yak.
Yeah, a panel opens up on the side or something.
This baby can fit so many unconscious Havocs.
Does the yak have any issue to us trying to get it out?
Yeah, so you're going to need to make a animal handling check to
boy.
get this yak to move. 'Cause
I don't know handle animals.
he doesn't see or smell Havok on you. In fact, he smells a bit of Havok's
Wait,
blood on you,
you're-
and he doesn't like that.
You
I got
do
good
animal things.
I,
do an animal.
yeah,
Okay,
I'm
do
doing
animals
an animal
then.
thing.
Talk to
Oh,
animals.
I can talk to it, but first I'm going to try handle. Oh no, 11.
Grope this yak.
No, I mean no harm.
So what was your total?
11.
11?
I'm going to use the yak like a magic device. And I got a 14. Can I
All
use
right,
the yak?
you don't successfully use the yak as a magic device, but you do convince the yak that at least you mean it no harm. It's still not moving.
Okay.
Okay.
The yak is not a
Talk to the yak.
fly squirrel
Okay,
thing.
I'm going to charm animal.
Oh,
That works.
Thanks.
That'll work.
I thought that was good too. Make one animal your friend.
how long does that
Wait.
take to cast?
We're going to find out.
An hour.
now, hold on. I did not mark it
Doesn't
as
that
one of my
just make it
slow
friendly?
spells.
That's not gonna-
So,
Get
If
it
it's
to
our-
do stuff,
If
right?
this is our friend, it'll probably follow.
It improves
the disposition.
the disposition by 1, and since she now convinced it means no harm, this will make it friendly and it'll
it's a
obey.
standard action.
All right, so you cast this magic, and you I imagine it's a save or something, but whatever. You charm this Viak, and he follows along.
Cool.
Cool. I've got the tarp. I
Yeah,
put the
I
tarp
picked
over the
the
back of the
yak.
yak, so the
And
yak
the tarp was already on the back of the Yak.
that is in like flat on the back of the
Okay.
yak, so it's protected.
And
Is that going to help?
Well, we're gonna have to walk in areas that aren't fully covered, and we're gonna have to put Havok under there.
The tarp will work?
it's getting to be pretty late. It's dark. Morose insists that you leave the library because you just seem to be sitting there.
Yeah, sure. Standing T-posing in the middle of the.
He's just been standing, like they've all just been standing next to each other the whole time. Are you gonna?
I just left a while ago.
A game of wits.
Just make direct eye. Have you heard of the
Morose
high
doesn't
elf?
want to speak first, but you're not speaking first, and it's just sort of like, here we go.
I helped you already.
So, do
so
we
we
get
go?
back to the
Yeah, you can get back to the
tavern?
tavern. It's starting to get really late, and when you get back, it's just the barkeep and the sleeping dwarf.
We don't have any place to sleep because the inn acidified.
Yeah.
One
We're
of
down
many
the dwarf's
buildings
home.
that are now gone.
You recall from last night that a single silver piece will allow you entrance into the toilet.
That's a good point. I
Why
stand
can't
next.
we get a yak in there?
We're gonna have to get the yak in there. I approach the barkeep and I say, "I want to get some toilet paper."
Okay, that's a silver piece.
No, fuck it. It is so nice.
Okay, she hands you the roll of toilet
I was gonna barter him, but no. Who gives a shit?
Can we all get in?
You're making a lot of money on this cult, aren't you?
It's the best thing that ever happened to this place.
Alright, so I roll in the toilet.
Alright, you open up to the secret passageway.
Cool. We start moving everything.
The yak would have to squeeze to get in here, so if you want him to, make an animal handling check in addition to it being charmed.
How long does Charm Animal last?
Although you do see that it is very willing to follow Havok now that it's been reunited with him.
Okay, we'll bring Havok in first.
Okay, that would give you a bonus. What did you roll?
11.
11? Plus whatever bonus, sure, and his charmed, yeah, you managed to convince the yak to squeeze inside.
Cool.
So you're now in the basement.
As a skill?
Alright.
Does anyone want to take turns watching Havok
No.
Nope. Why would we need to watch him?
to monitor his condition?
I'm not going to be able to do anything for him.
We're gonna have the doctor.
I can't even heal check. Like, it's, he's
Yeah,
bleeding.
none of us know how to heal.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll sleep.
If any of us get attacked, you're the healer.
You're all eating a bunch of berries, hope you know.
I'm good with good berry.
Okay, you guys can take a long rest now if you would like.
Okay.
Alright. Does anybody want to do like a watch? Or
I'm
something?
gonna prepare my spells.
I might as well keep an eye on him for.
I spend
an
my
hour.
final Arcana point,
Prepare alarm.
and I prepare alarm.
Okay, are you going to cast alarm?
Yes.
Alright. The night will pass without incident, besides a couple of coughs and piteous wails about the location of doom.
Alright, I'm rolling to get health back. Just, you know.
You don't roll to get health back. You
I
just
don't?
Get health.
No.
Alright, do I get it all
You just
back?
get your hit dice. You get your level. So if you're level 5, you get 5 health back.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, hit dice is 5th edition.
Ugh.
Alright, it's the next morning. People prepare spells. If they so choose.
I do it.
Yeah, I prepare Summon Nature's Ally 3.
We level 5. We level 5.
Okay. There you go. I prepare teleport.
I prepare
I'll
wish.
speed things along.
I wish Havok's okay.
Unfortunately, this power is too great for even a wish to cure.
Oh. What?
What?
Oh.
You just wasted that wish, man.
Yeah, no. I
Could have gotten like +2 strength.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh. Can you repeatedly do that?
Yeah. It just costs an astral diamond every time you want to do it.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine. We just need to find diamonds.
There's way cheaper ways to get 2 strength.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Because astral diamonds cost like 100,000 gold, and a belt of giant strength is like 10,000 gold.
But they'll stack.
Yeah.
So once you've got the giant strength belt, then
once
you
I've got
also
the
get the
strength of
actual
giant
diamond.
belt, once I got the ring of power, actually that won't help because the ring doesn't stack with the belt.
It's if you get a wish for free, like from a djinn or something,
Yeah.
and you're like, I don't know what else to do. Oh, +2 strength. Anyway, yeah. So you guys wake up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Havok seems even more pale, if that's possible.
This is not good.
No.
Soon he's gonna become transparent.
Translucent. Oh.
All right. Let's put him on the yak. Well, no, we're gonna get the yak out of the room
Okay.
and then put him on the yak.
You know, you'll notice that when you leave the location, it is now the 3rd day, and the clouds are beginning to break.
Oh, this is a good thing.
Yes.
Does that mean it's not raining?
The rain has lightened to the point where it is much easier to move.
Okay, cool. So we put him on the yak, secure him using rope.
All right. You lash this guy to the hood of your yak.
Wait, hold on. All right, I wound him up.
Checking the oil.
Fluid's good.
While we're walking down the street, somebody comes up and starts like putting like window washing fluid over the yak's face.
Get out of here.
All right.
All right. Where are you guys headed?
All right, we're heading to Portanova.
Let's pass through the north side of town, though.
Why?
That's probably all burnt.
The north side of town is the banks of a river.
Yeah.
No, the north side of town is the mayor's.
State
That's true.
Where the fire was.
So the fire has gone out, and the fire burned down the entirety of the mayor's office, and one or two houses beside it. There's several people milling about, and you notice that one of them you recognize, Victus. It is the little gnome secretary from before, and her house, which was right next door, has been burned to the ground, and everything she owns, besides what she's wearing, is gone.
You just ruined everybody's
I
lives you
didn't do
come in
that.
contact
What
with.
fucking no? You spread oil all over the place.
No, that was.
I wasn't even here.
Ollie wasn't there.
All right.
I'll just assume it was you.
She notices you, and she's like, "Oh, Victus, I'm homeless now."
Come with us. There's always a place
I nudge
in
you
the
quietly.
church. In the Church of Rictus.
Give her the toilet paper.
Thank you.
What?
Give her the toilet paper.
The toilet paper's gone.
Is that a metaphor?
No.
We're not going to have her shack up and set. We're just going to take her to Porto Novo.
We need a secretary for the cult.
No, the cult's moving to Porto Novo.
Yeah, the cult should
Doesn't
move
need
to
to
Porto
know
Novo.
that.
Then
Well,
your
stop
entire
talking about
argument
the
doesn't
cult.
make sense.
What's all this about a cult?
You want to
Don't worry about the cult.
We need a sec- Handle the
On
finances.
second thought, I'm not sure if I should go with you. If
It's
you're part of
it's a
the cult.
very light.
Diplomacy, 19, lost high. Except I'm not using diplomacy, I'm using the orator feat, which substitutes linguistics. So that's a 19 plus 13, which is a 32 to convince her to join my cult.
At least tell me a little bit more about it.
We worship magics.
Okay.
And with that magics, you can even get your things in life back in order.
That sounds amazing.
So let's go.
All it takes is 2 payments of $19.99.
Get out of
One
here.
national diamonds.
We just need an actual diamond. That's the fee to get into the cult.
All right. You've gained a follower, Victus.
Cool.
I've gained a follower.
No, you haven't.
It's his
She
cult.
likes me.
Yeah, she's horny for the elf.
I'm more charming than you.
Oh, that's true.
But she's been flirting with her longer.
What's your charisma?
15.
In any case, you guys leave
32.
this small burnt portion of the nicer district of town, which is no longer the nicer district of town, and follow the road east along the banks of the river. Now I have a description here. So I'm assuming that you guys do the same thing with alarm every time you
Yeah.
rest. It'll be 3 days, so there'll be 3 long rests if that factors in anybody who's still missing hit points.
Yes!
Jeez, calm down. It's not.
I mean, how hard to get back to 10 hit points?
I begin training.
Stinker.
True.
I begin training
Totally wrong.
the secretary. Does she have a name? What is her name?
Oh my god!
Here we go. Sam's on the spot now.
I gotta make a name. What's a good gnomish name?
Midgar.
No.
I was gonna say Rose, but
What's a good What's a dirt?
Shayla the no.
Do we want Australian gnomes?
Yeah.
I feel like they would do that
what
in
do you
New
look
Zealand.
like?
Yeah, because Kiwis, yeah. I don't have a description for this this gnome. I'll let see gnomish names. Raspip.
That's not female.
Oh, you're right. I need female names. Here we go.
That can't be.
That made-up name doesn't sound female enough to me.
It sounds masculine.
Taza. Taza.
Sure.
Kazza the secretary.
I love it.
Let's give her the last name
No,
No.
just Taza.
Taza.
It's
Shroomskin.
like share.
Taza Shrimskin.
It's a bad family.
Gnomes are all dirt based.
In either way,
Just Taza.
as you travel along the road, keeping the river to your north on the left, the far bank of the river grows more and more distant as the river widens and grows higher as the land forms its distinctive and signature split. The banks raise into a bluff and then further still. The road now veers south to join other roads paved with rough cobble, leading in from the various fields and farms that feed the giant city of Porto Novo. More and more roads link up, almost like a river, with small tributaries growing into a larger and larger, what do you call it, like stream, except it's a river. Except it's a road. And I need to find the right song to play.
During this,
Arranged. During this description.
During this time,
No, hold on.
I-
Sam made this.
No. Let him talk. He needs
during this time,
to do
I
something.
trained Taza on how to use a knife better.
She doesn't particularly
Pick up that skill.
pick up that skill very well, but she's very interested in the magic cult and the Church of Victus.
Cool. Rictus.
Victus, whatever.
I don't have a church.
She keeps on slipping up and calling it the Church of Victus.
We'll ignore that indiscretion.
What happens to Havok?
Havok's condition grows slightly worse, but at a slower and slower rate. The next day, in this distance, you can see the suburbs of Lower Portanova. As your path joins the southern trade road, Portanova has Portanova has no walls, and the road is guarded only by a wooden guardhouse that looks semi-permanent. The city has never been conquered by its enemies, however, and the reason is clear. The guardsmen here are well disciplined, checking each car of grain and produce and goods entering the city with speedy efficiency and an imposing presence. Among their number, recording the totals of imports, was a man in the white and silver robes of the Mage Towers, indicating a level of magical protection at the borders as well. Behind him stands a deactivated iron golem, should the outpost need some serious muscle. The houses and businesses on the newer outer rings of Portanova are bustling with business. Markets line the streets, and children play among the stalls and bounce balls off alley walls, laughing, skipping, and squabbling over toys, crying over scraped knees. Decently dressed humans, elves, dwarves, halflings, and gnomes, and the occasional other humanoid pause their haggling to shoot quizzical looks at your odd caravan. Above it all, the shadowy sky of stone that is the great cliff of Portanova looms in the distance. Along its height are the thin marble veins of the Mage Towers, barely visible at this distance. They climb the cliff which overhangs the river and the very heart of the lower city. Some say the magic of the wizards are the only thing that keeps the wall of stone from falling. Others point out that it's just the best way to regulate who, if any, travel to the upper city. The buildings become a mix of older and cheaper refurbishments as the shadow of the wall looms ever closer. The clothes and goods here grow shabbier, and the copper changes hands more regularly than silver. Children work alongside their parents, and the alleyways are filled with trash rather than games. You must travel deeper into the city still. What do you do?
We'll probably need to travel further into the city still.
We need to go deeper.
I approach one of the guards. Actually, I know Portanova since I was raised there. Can I do a knowledge local check to see if I can know where the church... So I'm going to do a knowledge local check to see if I can identify the church.
Okay,
Or identify.
Remember where the Church of Psych is.
Yeah.
One of the churches of Psych.
Yeah, let's go for the closest church of Psych.
Okay.
13 plus 7, 20.
You recall the Church of the Divided Hemispheres, which is very close, and just if you continue down this road, just before the river, it should be right there. It's one of the older ones, built on the ruins of a destroyed church from one of the many lurches that occurred in the distant past. It's pretty much a straight shot if you continue down this road.
Alright, I'm going to keep my head on a swivel because I know bandits are not uncommon in these parts.
You're not in the worst part of town yet, but you know that you're going to head into the worst part of town.
Yeah.
It's in the Soaks.
I'm going to put my mule and my goat on either side of the yak to kind of sandwich him in.
Okay. And people are giving this whole group of yours weird looks, especially since there's an increasing blood stain down from Havok's face. Clean that up.
Should have done that before I came in.
Cool, make our way.
Atlas gazes up at the upper portions that are just barely visible at this distance of Portanova, and you can see
it's mid-afternoon on the third day,
and there's a bit of haze from like the fog that sort of looms up.
Yeah,
right, or from the steam.
The steam from the river, yeah.
And you can see in his eyes,
heated by geothermal vents for those who want to know.
Disappointment.
Disappointment?
Yes.
Interesting. Morgrim, however, is gaping unabashedly. Very few Tengu make it into the city. Needless to say.
Alright, yeah, you gape. I don't know.
We're walking, man!
So you guys continue?
We're following.
You don't want to get distracted by anything cool?
Nope.
All right.
What's
I
around?
think I move it.
Here's something to distract you. That's
Do I
kinda
move
cool.
it regular speed? Because I'm carrying that ladder, which puts me in the medium load, so I think I move it everyone else's speed.
I mean-
I'm carrying the ladder.
Yeah, you could do that.
It's a
You
magical
could also,
ladder,
You could
it's
also
really
put the
only this
ladder on the
big.
yak if you wanted.
No, I'm gonna carry it.
Okay, you're just gonna carry it. All right, that's fine.
Right.
Right, so
It's not that big.
Traffic here slows almost to a stop. Because there's a space in the middle of the road that's occupied. A small stone dais sits in the middle of the road. On it sits an anvil, both of which have been speared through by a sword of ancient design. A grubby half-elf has set up a sign next to it and is charging people to try and pull it free.
That half-elf. Sword in anvil.
As Atlas makes a remark, he says,
Where's Silver?
"Con artists like this charging for the stone is certainly not news. Though, I'll have you know, gentlemen, that stone has never been budged, except by the headmaster of the school. They say that Headmaster Strix budged the sword, but he wasn't able to pull it out.
They say.
So they say. I wasn't around for it, that's for sure.
Almost as proof, behind this plinth, down the middle of the road, is a long, deep gouge of rubble and sand, as if this plinth had been moving away from the river.
Any of you fools want to try it?
Well, I've tried like 40
Step
times.
right up, step right up. It's a mere 7 silver to try your hand at the fabled sword of the magic of Portanova.
I'm gonna do a local check to see if I know who this guy is.
Sure.
He's there with a different disguise every
18.
day. Trying to find
You've seen this guy before. He's been thrown in prison twice for this, and he seems to just keep on coming back. His name's Davy.
I approach with my arms crossed. Davy,
That's me, the one and only.
haven't you been in and out of jail one too many times for this shtick?
I don't know what you're talking about, friendo.
You know who I am.
Does he?
I show like
Oh, hey, Victus, right?
yeah.
I don't want any trouble, friend. I know that you're kind of known as a bit of a vigilante there.
Maybe you should be giving that money back to the people who you've taken it from.
Well, I haven't made anything today. You don't believe him. That's a one. You don't believe him.
You can see his money.
He's got a little like.
Look,
hat
he did
and
that. He did that.
It's filled
Just
with
in a
like
skull.
silver and copper.
Yeah.
Give the money back.
Okay. Right away, sir. He pulls down his little sign and folds up the hat and scampers off.
He folds up the hat and takes it with
Yeah, he
him.
takes it with him. Almost as soon as he's gone, a dwarf sets up a little folding chair, pops out his hat, sets up a sign, and says, 7 silver! 7 silver, come and pull the sword of the magic of Portanova.
What
Could
else?
you be the chosen one?
Yeah, I told you. Every day. Nothing changes, I suppose, huh?
You know,
I walk up to the sword and then I ask Raven, what's he think about it?
Oh, right.
Oh, the raven? The sword?
Yeah.
Oh.
From one magic sword to another, I guess. What's he think?
One magic. Can they communicate?
This sword has never moved, nor will it.
What do you know about it?
I was really.
Do we hear? Is this?
This is telepathy right now. He can speak, but
Yeah, but you're using. I understand.
That's the only comment that.
that's all y'all had?
The sword has never moved, nor will it.
I would just walk away.
This also marks the borders of the Soaks, which, as you know, is the overhang of the cliff. And although the steam from the geothermal vents that heat the Champagne River to a pleasant, warm tingle, the steam rises up, condenses on the underside of the cliff, and then rains down in a constant rain. So you left evil rain and came to exfoliating mineral water rains.
Right.
Neat.
So everything's wet here.
Aw. I fluff.
Buildings are almost entirely reclaimed rubble. Tents are set up along the street. Children huddle in doorways, hiding from the rain. One of them goes darting across the road without looking both ways, crashing uncoordinatedly into Atlas, falling over the ground. And she looks up, tears welling in her eyes, a nasty scrape and a bruise on her wrist.
A woman?
Little girl.
Oh. Yes?
She just sort of sniffles and backs away from you shyly. And stares fearfully at the yak and the rest of you, kind of panicked, unsure what to do. Just backing away towards the alley again.
I'm going to approach her.
I'm going to
Cast change shape.
No, I'm going to Atlas is well versed in this place.
Make her a bauble.
He's lived here for a long time.
Make her a bauble.
Shut up. And he knows one thing that's really common.
She's like 8.
He knows one thing that's really common about these street urchins. And by the way, I'm a rich, pompous dickhead.
Yeah.
Is they're thieves and beggars and scum.
Yeah, she has stolen your purse.
And she's probably gone for my purse.
Yeah. If you pat your belt, she's taking your purse.
All right, I'm gonna blast her with color spray.
Okay.
Whoa! Christ! She is 8.
Oh, fuck her.
Then
No, she's 8.
You've already got this.
So she'll just be like
Random
deafened
language.
and blind and paralyzed.
Just for a few
Giant.
rounds.
Yeah.
It's temporary.
Yeah, so you blast
How
her with color
far does
spray?
she?
How many saves do I need to make? Just one?
I think you do. Just
I don't think she's going to pass it. 15 plus probably a -1.
16 is the DC to beat.
Alright, well, either way. She's blinded, deafened, stunned. Your bag of whatever's in your purse falls to the ground. She clutches her face, wailing, and many onlookers like gasp and pull back. Halflings and gnomes in the population have been replaced by Tengu and half-orcs. And the alleys, instead of being filled with trash, are filled with ladies of the night, so a different kind of trash. Ooh. Everybody gasps and sort of like pulls back and like oh shit, there's a wizard going on.
You're the man of the
one or
people.
two.
I was gonna say, should I put my hood up?
Yeah.
Am I standing out?
Atlas picks up his bag and he takes out a coin and like throws it at her.
It hits her in her blinded eyes.
and then he securely puts his money away in his double waterproof bag.
I do a sleight of hand check to put the coin into a place where other people won't notice, so that way somebody doesn't just steal it from her.
Tazza turns to you and says, "I don't like your friends much."
Things never do change, do they?
It doesn't help when you don't help.
Some of us will warm up to you, I promise, Tazza.
In either case, before you looms the half-destroyed and repaired shape of the Temple of the Goddess of Dreams.
Fantastic.
It is covered in mosaics resembling the folds of a brain. It is distinctly split into 2 sides. One is a clinical psychiatric hospital, and the rest is a mystic temple to the mysteries of dreams. So left brain, right brain.
We're going to have to put them into the...
Where's the doctor?
What's the connected thing in between that?
A monk wearing robes similar to that Hippocampus Mindblade wears under his armor steps forward and shows you a card. What does this look like?
It looks like we need help.
Tell me what this actually looks like, and I'll help you.
Right. What is the shape?
It's a random collection of blobs of ink. And as he insists on this,
It looks like a small child
a
falling down in the
woman
mud.
exits the door from the other side and walks over to him, pushing his hand down, and says, "Welcome to the Temple of Psych."
I put my hand on Havok and say, "We have a patient who needs help."
Does he need help from a hospital or help of a more spiritual nature?
Both.
I see.
Take him to
Why
the
don't you
basement.
come to our side then? And the man says, "Nonsense. All
Yeah.
he needs to do is tell me what this looks like."
I'm gonna do
you! Hobgoblin, what do these look like?
More blood.
Doom. Good. He begins scribbling madly.
That's incorrect.
You're
All right.
needy.
We go into the temple.
Okay. Which side?
Let's take him to the... Because we need to do a ritual, so we'll take him to the spiritual side.
Okay. You take him to right brain? Yeah, that's right brain.
Right brain, left brain, all brains.
I begin describing to the...
Is it my right or your right?
It's the right of the temple.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
I begin describing the disease that that Havok suffers from to her.
We do have rituals of purification that might work. Come, let's take him to a ritual room, actually. So you're taken to a small alcove off the main cathedral, which has a line of tape running down the middle. You get the feeling there's a lot of tension and shared space going on here. The only part of the temple that is not split in half by this tape is the altar itself, which again is covered in this mosaic pattern. So off in this room, several clerics of exceedingly low level perform some rituals together that do not work.
Left brain time.
And they hum and haw over it. Some left brain guys shout unhelpful things across the border, and you guys can decide what else you want to attempt. This seems to be beyond my power, at least.
We could throw him into the crag.
We could feed him a magic potion.
Why don't we
One
just...
of the anti-magic things.
Who is the highest level...
I don't know.
Shove it down his throat.
Maybe.
Highest level ritualist in your church? Do you know of?
Well...
And while you're at it, bring in the highest left brain person. We want to talk to them both.
There is more that we could try, but it might be dangerous.
Do it.
Let's find out what it is.
Do it, do it, do it.
We kick him out.
She calls over one of the priests from the left
Strain
brain
yourself, Holly.
and whispers in his ear.
Do
She
it.
runs off and then comes back with a
Magic people like,
higher
let's see
order
this
priest
shit.
of the left brain. They confer for a moment, and then agree and say, if you do this, we will not accompany you, and you will have to perform the ritual on your own.
Then you can't do anything for us.
No.
Why?
We're allowing you to try.
Allowed?
Oh.
I'd like to take
Nobody
out my
allows
paper
me to
and
do
pen to take
anything.
notes, seeing as I'm the most
if you would
ritualist
like.
person.
Okay. It's simple enough. We will take you to the crypt in the base of our temple,
I told you
and
to
you
go
will
to the basement.
and you will descend within. You must collect the three artifacts. They will be quite self-explanatory. You will face a trial to prove your worthiness before each. Then you'll take them and your injured companion into the room of the mind. You'll place him upon the plinth there and assemble the artifacts upon him. What happens next? I may only guess at, but be aware that once you if you are to do this, you will do it to completion, or your friend will die.
Seems like a
Will
lot
he
of
die?
effort to save him.
You may.
You guys just have monsters in your basement? Never even been in your own basement?
No, there are no monsters.
Oh.
There is only what you take with you.
Alright. I'll be all Luke Skywalker on this. I volunteer as tribute.
Okay.
How many movies can I pop in here at once?
Lone Star. All right. All right.
How many of you, if any, want to go
I'm gonna
and
blow
do
up
this?
the ark for me.
Well, we're going to have to do this. We are all going to have to do this.
Why are we gonna have to do this? Like, I just throw my hand out. Why are we doing this?
Save one of the people who has helped us repeatedly.
Didn't he kill the mayor?
Yeah, come along, Wally. You might actually learn about yourself.
Yeah. Come on.
Polly, he was.
I've been trapped in
a
a place before. It wasn't pleasant.
Well,
You
then,
get to the bottom of that here. We don't know.
some people call me the master of unlocking.
I thought we called you
Now
the
Lady blushes.
Oh, who calls you that?
A large, weirdly subtitled man.
Whoa, Victor sandwich.
Man.
I spent an Arcana point after that one.
Why?
It's my thing.
just this thing.
Alright, so you guys descend into the crypt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. The crypt winds down into a small room.
Don't chop him.
With a single long tunnel running off of it.
Oh, we got to bring it back up the stairs.
That ends in 3 passageways.
Are we bringing? Yeah, we have to bring Havok with.
Yeah, I assume you have to bring Havok.
All right.
Can the yak fit down there? Do we have to carry
No,
it?
it's large enough for the yak to go with you.
Okay.
Which hallway do we have to go down again?
You enter the crypt. It's straight shot down. It spreads out into 3 hallways. Each has a door.
Cool.
I leave my ladder upstairs.
Okay, you leave the ladder upstairs.
We
They give you space to leave all the stuff that you need to leave.
You put the ladder like
You
right
can
in the
even leave
middle
the yak
line.
there if you want. I don't know if you want to carry Havok all this way by hand.
I'm going to.
As far as the yak can go, I'd like to bring the yak. My hollow bones can't
They
carry.
went the yak in the church.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna grab a pebble from the floor. I'm gonna cast light on it,
All right, you cast light on the pebble.
which I'm using.
It's glowing.
a torch.
All right.
Is it dark down there?
No.
Oh.
It's better this way.
When you walk down this tunnel, you can see what's lighting it up are little pulsing flashes of light that run down it, as if this whole thing you were inside a brain cell.
Uh-huh.
All right. I
How
take
do
the
we know
pebble
this?
and I throw it at Volley. It's 15. I miss.
What's your armor class?
15.
15. Tie goes to the attacker.
All right.
You
Is it a
take
touch attack?
0 points of non-lethal damage.
It just tings off my armor.
Like,
Okay.
Raven, who's right?
there's 3 doors.
All right. I'll take the door on the right.
What do the doors look like?
Yeah.
They are simple wooden doors.
Oh, I can break these down.
Can I,
Simple unlocked wooden doors.
Well, Mofo, we're both men of the deft arts, so we should probably be in separate groups.
Why are we splitting
lock?
up?
I mean, knock.
What?
Knock?
What about?
I can knock.
You can-
oh, each door leads to a different artifact. We have to go in each one.
Yes, that's
so. Let's
so why are
all
we
go into
splitting?
one
Do we
door.
want to go into one? All right, sure.
I was gonna say, you trying to split the party?
I
Well,
only got 1 healer.
yeah, that's true.
I'll stay with you guys.
All right, let's go. Let's go on the right.
Ricky
door.
mistake
Okay.
right off the bat.
You open the right door.
My right or your right?
Who's right? The right
The
brain
right
or
of
left
the
brain?
passage. You open the right door,
The
and
right
it
of
leads
passage?
into another small room, like the first part of this neuron thing, except its long passage goes off to the right. And you notice that the 3 doors lead into here, probably just to give the illusion of the branching parts at the end of a neuron, just for the aesthetics. On the far side of this room is another door, not leading down that passageway. Above it, inscribed in big bold words in common, it says "the lens," and there's it's a stone door with a engraving of a lens splitting light through it.
I guess we'll need to go get the lens.
This is the first trial.
All right, let's try this door.
I set up these rooms perfectly to imply, because I wanted that first bit to be like, oh, they're gonna think the doors are the 3. No, it's each room.
Well, I did think it was.
I know.
All right.
I'm such a dick, and I'm so pleased.
It seems like
I'd like
it'll work.
to do a perception check on the lens.
Sure.
On the image of the lens?
Yeah. It's an engraving of the lens.
Oh, there's no door.
I think we have
No,
to go
there's a
into the
door with an engraving of the lens.
So it's like a Pink Floyd thing.
Just go
Okay.
into the door.
Yeah.
Why don't you try the door?
I'm gonna try the door.
All right, you try the door.
I try the door.
The door swings open to reveal pitch blackness, like it just drops off,
I have
Like
dark
magical
vision.
blackness?
like magical darkness.
Okay, so dark vision doesn't work.
Dark vision doesn't work.
Guess I grab another pebble,
Okay,
cast light on it.
you cast light on.
Cool.
All right.
Is it just like once it goes into the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No light.
Nothing.
You're imagining that this is a trial that would occur inside your mind. It's
Oh.
a mind temple.
I close my eyes and walk into the room.
Okay. He vanishes. Does anyone want to go with him?
Do I hear anything?
Wait, we opened the door.
Oh God! There's monsters! Ah!
They don't hear that.
Oh.
Naturally.
And your eyes are still closed.
Yes, I know.
Did you say that?
I did.
I follow.
He said that and we didn't hear it.
Okay.
Are your eyes closed
So-
or open?
Open.
So we have 2 people going into the lens.
We should have put a rope on these people.
You should have brought a
You guys,
ladder.
I walked back. You guys just went in.
Do I feel him?
You don't feel him. I'm waiting
I don't have
to know
rope.
who's going in before I decide what happens.
Does anybody have rope?
Can I
You guys
turn
are
around and
already
see if
in.
I can see out?
I have rope. You and your fucking rope.
All right, so you're the only one who's actually looking around inside this darkness.
Thank you.
Turning around, you do not see the entrance.
Naturally.
It is walking through this darkness. You're now in a plane of all white with a slight gray to tell you where the ground is.
Okay.
Here,
Do I notice with my eyes being closed that there actually is light coming in through the other side?
yeah, you can.
Okay, so I have my eyes.
You do not see each other. I would like each of you in turn. You were observing first because you had your eyes screwed shut in fear, I'm guessing.
No, because I thought I was going to have to blindly go through, so I might as well.
No.
After a hesitant moment, Atlas will enter as well.
Okay, that's 3. But you're...
Mofo, this is an interesting place.
Morgan is the first to look around, so
What do you want?
she will explain to us first
Do we
what
have
her
to
greatest
all go
temptation
through
is.
all of the artifacts?
No, because there's another hallway that goes down to the next room. You can just bypass this altogether if you don't want. So what is your greatest temptation? Because you see it before you on depending on what it is, it will be where it is. So what do you want most?
Alright, so...
I told you to be ready.
Yep, I know.
And everybody else start thinking about like your characters really in-depthly.
Okay, so Morgrim's temptation, despite being her whole life about sacrifice and trying to find equality of her species, is unfortunately very selfish. She sees herself and there, having completed her mission, her species is seen as equals. She's seen as a heroine, but she's also found her mate. She's completed her cycle, and she has not died before her time. They have very short lives. So she sees herself happy, completed her mission, back at home, and seen as a hero. And what's tempting about it is that she's tempted to cut the corners.
What's tempting about it is that this is a portal. If you were to... All you need to do is reach out and touch this portal, and you know in your heart that this will become reality.
Ooh.
You will give everything else up for this. And for what? A very long walk to a small stone plinth where a tiny piece of crystal that anybody else could take is? This is all you want. And I will tell you
The equality of my species!
right now, legitimately, if you go to that portal, your dreams will be made real.
Ugh. Okay.
What do you see, Victus?
Victus sees his greatest temptation.
Yep.
Which is to let go of the law, to step away and become a man with no morals.
Who just flew rogue.
No, well, yes. Yeah, who just lets loose and just, like, fucks everything, kills everything.
And more than that, you would get diplomatic immunity. No one would be able to stop you. There would be no repercussions for your actions.
Diplomatic immunity.
No one would be able to retaliate against you for whatever whims you wished.
Mm-hmm.
You would be entirely free. A paragon of freedom. Like personal freedom.
Okay.
And you know that all you need to do is reach out and take this, and it will be so. And I'm telling you right now, it will be so. And for what? A small stone crystal that anybody else could take. Atlas, what do you see?
Mm-hmm. Atlas sees the past, in a sense. He doesn't see what he's aspiring to achieve, but rather what he's lost. And included in that is his mother and father, and the property that he once belonged to. And he understands, and this is like, you know, kind of the rose tint of what Atlas remembers of his youth from living in Old Town in Portanova.
And you know that all you need to do is walk through that portal, and time will turn back, and the earth will repair itself, and your parents will breathe again, and all your troubles will disappear. The money will flow like water. And you know that this will occur, and that you can make things better this time, that you won't lose it this time. And all you need to do is reach out and take it. And for what? A small stone crystal that anybody else could take. Alright, Morgan, what do you do?
Is that everyone? Oh, you guys are still outside.
No, you guys are
Yeah,
still
they're
outside.
still outside.
Okay. Can I look around? Is it just them?
Those are your options.
I can touch it or not touch it? Like
You can reach out and go through this portal to all that you want, and you know in your heart of hearts that it will be true. And I'm telling you right now that I will make it so. Or you could walk like 200 meters, enough to you'll start to get tired before you get to it, and take this small stone crystal off this plinth.
Can I see this one?
Anybody else could take it. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, it's over there.
I'm gonna be tired by the time I get there. When
We see each other.
sold.
No.
Nope.
It's what's that moral dilemma? You know, if how's it go? Like if
Road one?
the prisoner's dilemma.
Yes, the prisoner's dilemma. I want to start to walk away from it and see if the image gets more clear or
As
cloudy.
you walk away from it, you begin to see these two fade in. And they begin to see you fade in. And as you do, you realize that if anybody else takes their temptation, you'll lose yours.
Okay.
So it's whoever takes theirs first will become true.
Saw.
And the other two, they can take the crystal. You would get all you need. And they would have to take the crystal. So it's no longer your issue.
Victus nervously begins rubbing his sigil ring. And like mumbling to
Can I call out
himself.
to them?
Who wants to make their dreams reality?
Can I call out to them?
You can try.
Alright, I'd like to call out. What do you see?
Do I hear that?
It's muffled to the... make a linguistics check, because it's muffled to the point of indecipherability.
It's pretty simple message.
Cool.
18 plus 13.
Yeah, you can understand.
31.
She wants to know what you see.
26.
I see the impossibility of the past.
Make a linguistics check to see if you understand.
Yours was harder to understand. 20!
Oh, all right, that was it.
20!
You break the muffledness, and now you can talk.
Sort of whispering to himself rather than as an answer, I say, I see something that is more horrible than I've ever seen before.
I say I see equality for all of my species and all species in general.
So communism.
I run over to Morgan and begin stabbing her. Rather be dead than red!
What happens if someone picks up the shard before someone touches
I don't know. What are you going to do? Only one of you can have their perfect world.
I begin sideways walking around the portal. Without
It's like two paths.
Oh,
Knowledge
okay.
of plans.
So I begin making my way slowly.
And you're also like 3 points of a triangle with this thing in the center.
Okay.
So Atlas realizes that he'll get what he wants, but he also knows that what he wants is impossible to have. So he sort of understands that this is a paradox, but it's so believable that the paradox is unraveling itself. And I think Atlas will try to decipher this.
Decipher?
Yes, he's going to decipher the paradox.
Okay. How do you want to do that?
I'm going to make a knowledge plane
Okay.
and a knowledge
check.
arcana
Alright.
check. And I could spice it up with some religion too. 24 for a planes check. Higher than that for an arcana check. 30 for an arcana check.
Jeez.
So you recall from your classes at the Arcane University, or whatever the heck it's called, that there was a theory that in the vastness of the planes, there are infinite realities. And sometimes, most rarely, as most portals take you to different locations, right? But a portal of sufficient power and ancientness might be able to take you to an entirely new reality with an entirely new set of planes, but with slight minor differences. And you think that if you were to pass through this portal, you would find a reality where your wish is true.
This guy's just have this in the basement.
Could just all be in our mind.
Then what Atlas will do is he's going to take out the adamantium throne piece
Yes.
and see if it's reacting in any way with this magic.
Ooh,
And is
you
it
weren't
still
expecting
hot?
that.
Is it still hot?
And it's still hot. And when you pull it out, a very small portal appears before it, with an image that you can't make out. So it's getting its own vision.
Got its own
And you feel
intelligence.
it tug in your hand towards that vision.
Nope, don't, nope.
No, they've been gone a while.
Can we hear them out here?
No. And that door is yawning open for you.
Atlas is going to go.
Go through the portal?
Yeah.
Okay, you go through the portal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run at the shard.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I'm going to slowly make my way towards the shard.
Alright, when he goes through the portal, your two portals disappear.
Cool.
Can I get the shard?
I act as if a weight has lifted from me.
I mean, both of you can get the shard.
And so I make my way
So
to the shard.
you lift the shard. Who wants to take it? Morgan?
Okay.
Oh, you got that
Morgan
first.
takes the shard. And the darkness of the room is dispelled. And you can see that this room is very small with this little plinth inside that you're now holding. And in the corner sits cross-legged, his back to the rest of you, bleeding at the mouth is Atlas. His eyes rolled back, deeply entranced. You, it's true. It's all true. They're back. Reality has shifted for yourself. You are on another plane. You're here. This is true. Your parents embrace you. They feel warm and real. And you know for a fact that your home and your wish has been fulfilled.
Can you grab him? How much does he weigh?
I don't know if it would be.
I'll grab
more
him.
for
It's
us to
fine.
save him, but yes.
I'll grab him.
You're outside the door.
We see you now. The darkness
the
is
darkness
gone.
is dispelled.
Oh, good.
I'll grab him.
Thank you. Any issues with touching him?
No, he's just stiff as a board.
Okay.
I got him.
Next door.
Do you pull him out?
Lost one.
When you pull him out of the room, the magic is dispelled, and you realize this was all an illusion.
Does he
I
start?
got this hot stone in my hand.
Greed!
And furthermore, there's a bunch of skeletons sitting cross-legged in this room.
this shard is so nice.
Ooh! Whoa!
Alice, you okay?
I'm fine.
I put him down. I put him
The
down.
door grinds closed, and you guys go
You
down
can
the
see
next hall.
I'm
light
glad
fade
we went-
away from Atlas's eyes. His soul has been shattered.
I'm so glad we went in together.
Yeah, like they both embrace you and they say, "Welcome home, son. It's been so long." And then, like, you're cold and you're being held like a small child and your hands are burning.
Don't trust anything in these rooms.
Atlas gets up, prestidigitates the dirt off of him, and he's now grumpy.
You got to smoke.
Yeah, he takes out a smoke. He lights it. He starts smoking it.
Can I get one?
No.
What?
No.
Okay, you guys go down the hall and find the next room.
Yeah.
Right.
The next this one is which one do I want to do? Let's see.
Morgrim's heart is rather empty. Equality for all species is so out of reach.
This one is called the Lantern, and it has a little like almost Green Lantern symbol on it. I don't know. It likewise has a. You pass through one of these 3-door things to this next room. Big stone door.
It's not scratchy.
Engraving of a
Get rid of
lantern.
the choke on it.
Likewise, it opens up to pitch blackness. Who wants to go inside this one? This is a chance for character development, guys.
All right, I'll walk in. Why not? I didn't do it the first time. I'll sacrifice myself for
Volley
the
walks
second.
in.
Atlas sits down outside. He doesn't sit down. He leans up against the wall outside and finishes his cigarette.
I'm going
Okay.
in. I know what to expect
You're going?
now.
Okay.
You're gonna go in?
Sure.
All right.
It's our time.
So volley first.
Bring the ladder.
Not go in.
Nah.
What do you fear the most?
I become king.
Ooh! Ooh!
All right.
Sorry. Volley fear.
I'm not quite sure how to do this one.
Huh?
So she doesn't know that.
These are fun notes for me, I think. Let me have it.
All right. Before you on a plinth is the lantern, right? But you know that if you were to take up that lantern, it would entitle you to rulership and ownership over all the world, and you could not refuse. If you were to take this and save your friend's life, what it would mean for you is that you are sovereign of everything. By taking his life into your hands, by taking this lantern into your hands, you're taking authority over all living beings. And it's not that you would be granted this authority, it's that this authority would be thrust upon you. Everyone would give up their wills to you. You would be a dark lord on a dark throne, gilded and glorious, more powerful than the sun itself. Even the ovum within the earth would bow before you. You would become the power if you were to take this lantern.
And I'm assuming Raven sees the opposite of that.
What do you fear the most?
Does Raven fear something?
The sword.
Yeah. Well, the sword has the opposite thing. He wants me to become king, so I would assume.
The sword sees its own thing, and it whispers in your mind, "Don't do it. We cannot take that lantern. What do you see?
Me? So,
Always a struggle.
I fear failure. My species
Look at that.
always seen as lesser. My life ends before its time. My message goes unheard. I die mateless and alone.
If you take this lantern, you will perish here. This thing will be fueled by your life. If you take this lantern to save your friend, you'll be giving yourself up for him. And all your work will come to ash.
Okay.
What do you feel, Monfong?
Wait,
Looking at himself.
His hands are just, his fists are gone. He has no more hands.
It's something really simple, silly, like it's just a big spider on the plinth.
I would take on a life-threatening fear of spiders for the sake of this.
His ladder's no longer around. His ladder broke.
The ladder's burning.
But I was going to say probably just being already dead and not being able to help somebody.
Yeah, this thing will kill you.
Yeah. But then
Even approaching this thing will kill you. If you take one step forward, you're going to die. Your heart will stop. You'll end up worse than Havok. You will melt into blood. Your skeleton will be vaporized into powder. You will be erased from existence. You will never have been born. You cannot take a step forward, or this will occur.
That's worse than mine.
So Atlas is outside with Victus.
Yeah. What are you guys doing outside?
And Atlas is
Stamping out his cigarette.
Yeah, Atlas stamps out of the little butt of a cigarette, and he says,
You want to talk?
"Illusions, Victus.
Yeah.
That's what this temple is built on. Literally, it's literally been built on illusions. Since we're in the basement. Do you understand what I'm talking about, Victus?
Not completely. What I do know is there's a reason why I'm in the Church of Victus and not in the Church of Psych.
You're in the Church of Victus.
Victus.
Causes really getting me.
That's in character.
That might have been my greatest fear.
I think I'm in the Church of Victus. That's
I
the
always-
best to know.
I always hated my illusions teacher too, you know. Penny bottom. That son of a bitch.
Would you have preferred him as quarter bottom?
I don't know. Nickelback was his father.
Nickelbacker?
You see, the brain is perhaps the most powerful magic item that you possess.
I thought we all thought with our heart.
Oh boy.
This is gonna be tougher than you thought.
No,
Brain's just like stuffing for your head, isn't it?
no. Brains have an important role.
Like what?
Well, they control your whole body. Don't you know?
That's your heart.
Don't you know?
That's why the soul stuff affects your heart. Look, everything I've been taught in church and school was...
You went to school?
I did go to school. I went to primary school.
Oh.
We need to just go back.
Well, I spent about 87 years in school.
I was educated on the school of the streets.
High tuition, that school.
Kinda. I mean, moral tuition.
What the fuck do you think those guys are doing in there?
Okay.
So,
You probably got some fucking illusion.
Oh, man, I'm
I'm
telling you.
gonna...
yeah, you went in first, so.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to close the portal.
The portal?
Isn't it a portal?
You can grab the lantern.
If you take this lantern.
Oh, I thought it was a portal
No.
standing in front of me that I could see.
No, if you
Oh, that was the previous one.
yeah.
Yeah, your character understands that if you grab this
Lantern.
Lantern.
then your fear will come true.
You'd think Morgrim would be like immediately knowledgeable about what's going to happen if the last one was an illusion.
I'm going to do arcane mark on the floor, and I'm going to write goodbye, my friends, and I'm going to grab the lantern.
Okay.
Okay.
Each step you take forward towards this lantern, you feel the life drain out of you. In fact, mark down on your sheet.
Oh boy. Ah!
It's okay, she didn't have much health to begin with.
Well, that's the point, though. my character's the most self-sacrificial. This is
Each
going
step
into my
each
desire.
step will drain 5 hit points from you.
Okay, how many steps?
It's
6.
It's
You're
like
dead.
it's like
Stop it! Mofo!
it's like 50 steps.
I can't make that.
Jump.
You gotta try. How else can you get over there?
I
You're level
can't!
five- You're level 5 now.
I can do over 60 speed flying.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You're gonna
fly
fly.
at this thing.
When you cast fly,
Yeah?
you lose 4 points of your Constitution score.
Okay. What does that do to me?
Your Constitution score.
Yeah, what does that
Your
do to
actual
me?
Constitution score.
Yeah, what does
Yeah.
that do to me?
It lowers it by 3.
Okay.
4.
I
Which
just want
reduces
my-
your hit points by 10.
Oh, reduce my hit point. That's what I was asking. I was like, what does this do to me? Okay.
And when you reach out to this thing,
Yeah. I hate this so much, guys. I hate you all.
You did this.
This is my character. Morgan would never do this.
you lose 5 levels.
Okay.
Like, permanently 5 levels.
Alright, so I'm level 1.
Alright?
No, you're level 0.
You're level 0.
Oh, okay, I'm level 0.
You're
And
just like a
That
regular
means you're
old
like
schmuck.
born.
what do you pick this thing up?
Yes. I've lost too much
Okay.
now.
Make a strength check to see if you can lift it.
Baby Morgan trying to lift this thing. 20!
That-
20, guys!
You lift the lantern, and you're perfectly alright.
Oh my god. That was hell. But I'm still level 0.
No,
No,
you're
no.
perfectly alright. Yeah,
Okay.
none of the stuff I had you marked down on your sheet stays. Yeah, you can get rid of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but having you mark it down on the sheet really fucking scared you, didn't it?
So all of a sudden the black room
Yeah.
just disappears and she's just like this.
Yeah.
Like tears are falling down my face.
you're-
You guys see the mark
Another
on
small
my
story.
wrist?
Yeah, and she's crying like she's crowing and she's teared like fucking feathers out of herself, and she's holding the lantern and she's like, and you know there's one more room.
You know, if this third one's an illusion, hopefully we wouldn't all fall for it again.
Oh.
Victus, your brain.
What about my brain?
God damn it!
It's useless. Nothing happens in there. It's just
Oh.
stuffing. Everybody knows that you think with your
Silence,
heart,
Victus!
and your brain is like,
Silence or I'll silence
The
you!
second one's a lantern, so the first
that a
one
spell?
was what?
Yes!
The lens.
Okay. Gosh.
What is the third window?
The third room is the shroud.
Actually, I do have high intelligence. I really should know that the brain is actually the... I want to let you know I was just messing with it.
Oh, I know what this room is.
Okay.
I didn't think it at first, but now I realize I did.
So who wants to enter this third room?
See, I know
Well,
what's in
we
this
should
room. This is the one I wanted to avoid.
Enter the room. Is it just like another door?
It's just
with
another door,
Another
yeah.
symbol on it?
Another
All right,
symbol, yeah.
well, let's walk into that.
Third
and then-
verse, same as the first 2 verses.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a look.
Are we all gonna go, Molly? What? Are you gonna come? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, go get him.
Yeah, we'll marry Brick Road into this one.
You all link arms.
I was gonna say, do you guys
you
wanna
walk
hold
in
hands?
together.
What's happening? We're all walking through the
You're
third
gonna
one?
link arms and Golden
not
Brick Road or
interesting.
whatever.
So,
Yellow Brick Road.
Yellow Brick Road.
I
right.
know.
Oh, the yellow brick road.
All right. I would like to know everybody's greatest doubts.
oh, I thought this was the other one. Dang it.
No, it's fears, temptations, and doubts. What's the other one? Oh no, it's not that one. Yeah, that last one.
that
Yeah,
one.
get ready for that last one.
I'm
That
ready
last
for
one's
it.
easy.
I thought it was this one.
Yeah, 3 rituals and 4 challenges.
Dang it now.
What?
All right, my greatest doubts. Let's
Oh,
hear.
4 challenges. Okay.
Doubts. What did I
I
write?
thought we only had 3 challenges.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. What? Huh? What's going on? Play back that tape.
Fucking drones.
Greatest doubts. I need greatest doubts.
Okay, I got mine.
Who wants to go first?
My
Atlas
greatest doubts
never
were
doubts
shouted the
himself.
other day. That's his thing.
What would make him doubt himself?
Down in trees?
What would make me doubt myself?
Yeah.
It's really more of a fear, I guess. It's not a doubt. It's... Yeah.
I just had a thought. Those of you who have spell slots,
Yeah.
they're all expended.
Okay.
As we enter this room.
As you enter this room, they are all expended.
Okay.
Of course they are.
And you two, who are not casters...
I'm a caster.
Oh, how many spell slots do you have?
2.
2? Well, they're gone.
Did you take a level
Oh,
of cleric?
I was going to say, all he does is cast light on pebbles.
From Major Magic.
Oh, those aren't spell slots. Those are spell-like abilities when they're major magic.
Yeah, but you can only do it a certain number of times a day.
Yeah, but they're not slots.
Okay.
They're still
it doesn't-
gone.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, and both of your current hit points are halved.
Okay.
Oh.
And before you, very simply on the plinth lays a shroud of black cloth.
So my doubt is that I truly am following the law.
You doubt that
What?
you're following the law?
Yeah, I doubt that my actions are in accordance with the law, that I have violated them in some way.
Well, in either case, it's sitting right there, and you can grab it if you want.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
I'm confused.
Who hasn't grabbed one yet? You're out!
All your Arcana points are gone too, by the way.
Oh, no!
Alright.
I'm doubting myself now.
I approach the pedestal.
Okay.
I grab the thing from the pedestal.
The darkness disappears, and all your spell slots remain gone, and your hit points stay low.
It's him or all of us?
Are we just hurt hit points or hit points max?
You're hurt, as if you were hurt.
Damn.
Can we try and leave the room?
Okay, you can leave the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's just...
They don't go back.
It just hurts. Alright, so how much...
You just lost all your spell slots, and 2 of you have lost half your hit points.
Okay. 2 of you have lost hit points. Okay.
Good thing there's a magus here that does both.
You lose 1/4 of your hit points. Could have kept his mouth shut.
Okay.
Round up, round down.
It's okay, I still got more secrets.
And your negative level's gone from because you rested. Yeah.
Round up, round down.
Well, for like 3 days.
Round down. Yeah.
It's half.
Do always come down.
What is half of 26?
Alright,
13, you
we've
stupid.
exited.
Even
Now
number.
we're-
You didn't even have to round.
No, it was 27, so I rounded down to 26.
Oh, I see.
Alright. And you know that at the end of this next hallway is the place to perform the ritual. But now, like, all your magic's gone.
Does anyone feel tired? Jesus.
Yep.
Can
Could
we
use a
Wait.
nap.
Is his hair still blowing in the wind?
Do you get your spell slots back?
Your wind is gone too.
I was going to ask, does it feel like we came out of the illusion?
The wind's not
No, you
magic.
feel as it, but it's gone.
Okay.
And your key points are gone if you had any.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone.
Okay.
Is there some way for
And
us
if Havok had gone in, he would have lost his rages. You're out of resources.
Alright.
And the weasel's dead.
Let me look at
The weasel's fucking dead.
The weasel didn't go in,
I
guys!
stomp on the weasel!
Okay.
There's a day for that.
Pick up your boots, it's Weasel Stomping Day.
Okay, are we guys gonna go in the next room?
I mean, do we have a
We need to
choice?
go into the room with Havok.
We could stop and
Oh,
sleep for
do we
8
supposed to
hours
leave
in
to
this
get Havok
hallway.
and come back
That
down
way,
here?
we're totally prepared when we go into the next room.
I've got a scroll of make whole. I could probably get something done with that. I'm pretty clever, guys.
The shard of adamantium is now quite cool to the touch.
Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna do a knowledge dungeon.
Wait, she said we have to, like, if you go in, you can't come back out.
Yeah.
Didn't they say something like that?
Yeah.
We gotta go in the next room, guys.
We don't
I'm
have a
gonna
choice.
use a
I'm
knowledge.
assuming that you had brought the yak with Havok
Oh,
on it
Yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
yeah.
You just left
Did
it in the
the
room.
yak have a portal?
No, we literally said
No, you didn't go into any
Oh,
of the
we did say
it's
that.
just leaves.
Yeah.
Like where the people don't go in yet.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a knowledge engineering check to see if the walls seem to have changed in this room.
Nope,
If
they're still
exact
pulsing.
Still pulsing.
same. All right. Well, I
And
guess
you follow the pulse to the last room. This doesn't have the 3 doors into it. Instead, it has 1 door, and it says, "Speak the truth and pass."
Ah, frickin', I knew it. Speak truth and pass.
And if any of you make an intelligence check above a 5, you'll realize that you need to tell a secret that no one else in the entire world but you knows.
Minimum 6.
Minimum 6, there you go. So you know that you must speak a secret that only you and no one else in the world knows in order to pass this.
Now, if like I said the secret, would I go through and not hear anyone else's secrets, or do
maybe.
Or do we all have to say it to get in?
This is an archway. There's no door here. It's a doorway, and you can see beyond it. Basically, what looks like you know how like coffins would have the carving of a person laying on it, like that, but without the carving.
Can we see if the
So
yak
it's a place for him to be
can
placed.
go through without saying anything? It's a yak. Because we have to get Havok in, but he's unconscious.
They've got one of these archways in the school.
You've heard him. You've heard him mumble things. Before.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking illusions teacher.
Yeah, it blocks your way into the girls' dorm.
My intentions are pure. Darn.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that mean that the girls can't really get in and out of their dorm very well?
I don't think it works on them. But it definitely worked on me. Oh boy. You can see color come to Atlas's face, which is unusual because he's usually sort of blue and white.
Yeah. He's blushing.
Yeah. like he's remembering something. Well, go ahead, someone. All you gotta do is just tell it your deepest, darkest secret, and you can go through.
Yeah.
What did you
And you're
say?
all out of magic and kind of hurt.
Alright, I approach the door.
All right.
And I stand there, rubbing my sigil ring again.
Okay.
Kind of nervously hopping back and forth on either foot.
All right.
And then out loud, he bursts out, "It wasn't bandits that killed my father. It was me."
And the pressure that would keep you from passing this door dissipates for you, and you may enter.
I quickly rush through.
What's everyone's name for a second?
I burned down my house for the insurance.
How did you just come up with that?
And Tazza runs in behind.
Oh, yes.
I turn to her. "Did you get the insurance money?"
Oh, for sure. I'm loaded now.
Awesome. The yak
Really,
goes
she
up.
shouldn't have come with you guys, but
The yak just goes up. Good God! Somebody slaps the yak.
yeah. The yak just sort of moves, I guess, but it can't pass with Havok tied to its back. And Havok laying on its back somehow figures out what's going on
Oh, thank God.
vaguely, and very weakly. If you make a perception check, you can hear.
I'm doing
says.
it! I'm doing it!
18.
23.
Vulcan lives.
Okay.
17.
Vulcan lives.
Vulcan lives.
Okay.
And they pass through.
The yak and
Yak and Havok. Yeah.
Okay. Atlas stands before the archway now, and you can see him really considering, his past.
Oh boy.
And, he looks up, and sort of the levity that was in his face earlier fades away. And he says, "I never finished college. Headmaster Strix kicked me out for attempting the most taboo of magics."
Ooh.
You can't pass. Headmaster Strix knows this.
No. Everyone else didn't know. Headmaster. Oh, because no one can know?
Yeah.
It's something that no one else can know except you. But thanks for that. I like that.
Good to know! So we tried to walk and the door just kind of hits him.
The only witness to his is dead.
Okay. That counts, I guess.
And whatever the yak said was fucking intense.
Well, I guess I can't get in.
The yak shedding single tears across the threshold into the new room.
One thing about Old Town is there are eyes everywhere, I suppose.
Also, the guy who fired you.
You're not even there.
What?
He's still alive.
I guess.
Did you
Secretly watch a woman and masturbate and she didn't know?
That's not taboo magic.
That's after hours magic.
This is more like a general thing of like something dark and secretive that you've done that like isn't known by anybody else.
I mean, I have a lot of friends.
Did you do anything outside of the college after you left?
Oh boy, did I.
What would nobody else know?
Wait, you've already gone through the door.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, it's an
yelling.
open doorway. He can yell through it.
Oh,
I don't have
get
to
in
like,
here.
say new truths.
I don't need to say. Just pop in and out. New secret.
I stubbed my toe and I lied.
I'll go up next. If you still have to keep thinking, there, pal. More dorm room entries. I'm going to make solid eye contact with each of the members, and then face the doorway and say, "I will personally be responsible for all of your deaths," and attempt to walk through.
You can walk through.
How's that a secret?
Because there's something that I know and she knows, and one of the two other people in this game know, but the rest of you don't.
But then other people know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were DMs at that point.
No.
I knew this?
No.
You're a terrible
One
leader.
person doesn't actually know he knows it.
That's you.
I don't think he knows that he knows that.
And it's Jack.
Oh my god.
Jack, are you taking a piss on that?
Get off!
I'm just kidding.
Still.
I'm still mad at you.
I secretly saw Jack
Molly,
take a
get
piss
in here.
You know, when I was in grade school,
You can trust me.
I really wanted to learn Gnomish, but they told me that Dwarven would get me into clergy college. And so here I am. Not learning Gnomish.
It's not a
It's
secret.
not a secret. And a lot of people know that because they told you you couldn't.
I think you guys have to really redefine your concept of secrets.
No, the secret was that I wanted to learn Gnomish.
I think
love
two
the
people
culture.
can know
The
a
culture
secret
is
now.
beautiful and amazing.
Damn it, I'm Atlas.
But now
I'm losing my fucking mind down here.
Oh.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
Maybe you just sit down and like wait for them.
Could we do the thing alone?
You could try.
Oh god.
You have the
I have all three items.
You took the shroud as well.
Who took the shroud?
No, I did.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
all three items are in there. Yeah, you can leave these assholes outside.
You
Good, I
want?
don't want to give my
Molly,
secrets.
come on.
You want to try? Do we? We have nothing.
We have nothing.
You are nothing.
That's false.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I wrote down what we have to do. Let me see if we can do it. We get the three artifacts.
Yeah.
We go to the room of the mind. We place the artifacts on Havok, who has to be on that table thing
Yeah.
inside the crypt. All right, let's get Havok on the table. Let's start with that. Can
Oh,
we lift
boy.
it? Can we
Yeah,
lift
well,
it?
we've trained on this one.
We prepared for
Alright,
this
so-
moment.
The three of you guys outside just stare through this doorway, unable or unwilling to
At
pass.
this point, Atlas starts going through secrets to see if other people have figured out his secrets. And it seems like everything he says won't let him through. So he's just sort of like whispering to himself, like, "How about that time?" And like everything, right? So Atlas has gone through like 24 secrets.
It's like a
And
disabled.
now he's getting like irritated, like, "What the hell do people? Why does somebody? Oh, everyone knows everything."
And then something really fucking mundane lets him through. It's just
Pissed my pants in the second grade.
no, it was something like this is, I don't know. I'll do something. Oh, I know the secret that you could tell because it's happened during play during a previous session.
And I was alone.
No, but someone doesn't know that you did it.
I thought everybody.
Someone doesn't know.
Or everyone
Yep,
does.
the person you did it to doesn't know you did it to them.
Oh, that is a secret. Sort of.
We're gonna need help in here.
Yeah, you guys wrestle Havok onto the plinth.
Yep.
Cast the shroud over him.
Okay.
And set the lantern down on his chest. And then sort of like
Stone on his head.
put the stone on his head awkwardly and kind of line it up like is this right? We could really use the two people who know things about arcane and one guy who punches shit.
Do I put this up my butt? What do I do?
Atlas!
Hang on. What about the time where I used my ring of climbing and... Wait! I remember. I duped William's brother out of his ink.
You may pass.
Oh, God! Alright, I go in.
It wasn't even ink.
I think it was.
It was ink.
It was an old anti-magic potion.
Oh,
That
it
was
was
all
old anti-magic, but you're right. I have that written down.
Great. Get in here.
What about the other two of you?
Mofo! Do you take steroids?
Do you... if
My
the
body
sword
in a
wants to
temple.
take control of you, what does it have to do?
It has to force me to roll against its ego level.
Okay, it's going to do that now.
But it has to be something I don't want to do.
You don't
don't
think
want
of
to
it?
It wants to tell a secret and pass through this door.
Okay, yeah. So I have to roll against its ego level, which is set by just
Magic power.
yeah.
Is the
Which I have a
sword-
picture.
Is
of
the
it.
sword considered a person which cannot know the secret?
When it takes control of his body, it will be the one passing through.
Okay. But like, if he were to tell a secret, the sword would not have to.
It has an ego of 8.
So you got to roll higher than an 8.
Yeah, but
guess.
I get to add my intelligence modifier to it. Yeah, no, 18.
All right. Well,
It's not strong enough yet to take over
you feel
me.
the tug of Raven trying to take over your body.
Raven, what secret are you trying to tell him?
If I tell a secret, you need not tell one.
Fuck. Yeah, let him take over my body in the end.
All right.
For a little bit.
Don't worry, I'll return you to yourself.
She automatically like combs her hair.
Just. Alright.
Yeah.
Got like sunglasses.
His demeanor,
Alter ego.
Volley's demeanor changes entirely as this sword swaggers forth. And it's,
He can speak.
what language does he know?
He knows.
And what languages does everybody else know?
Common, Elvish, and Giant.
Common,
Elvish,
Elvish,
Giant.
Celestial, Gnomish, Goblin, Sylvan,
you speak
Dwarven,
Giant?
Tengu.
No.
Okay, in Giant, he says a phrase and then passes.
Sweet. I wasn't given my secret.
Damn, I should have said mine. And
I can make a linguistics check to interpret that, though.
You try?
Were you listening? Why were you listening?
Because I was standing right there.
I guess
You already went through.
18.
Wait, they can
This
hear
is-
through the door?
Yeah, it's an
Oh,
open
fuck.
doorway. This is a very old and archaic and high form of giant, like storm giant levels.
Well, I speak Dwarven and Gnome and Orc, which are all sort of derivatives of the same...
They're all low
Giant.
derivatives of giant.
18's kind of low.
He's gonna get the go blank the blank on the blank.
You definitely recognize the word king.
Yeah, King probably is one of those words that doesn't really change.
Yeah.
Ray.
Mom.
What?
Mom.
Mom?
Mom is one
All
of
right.
the oldest English.
Mofo!
We've only got Mofo to get through this door.
When we all came down into the basement, I farted.
Can I make a perception check to see if I notice?
I'm gonna roll and decide. Yes.
People knew.
When someone asked, I said it wasn't me.
You son of a bitch! Everyone else here I'm fine with, but you.
Alright, and you have made it into the chamber of the mind.
So the one betrayal I'm not willing to take.
Nobody has their whatever still.
The most silent and deadly of all secrets.
So I'm gonna turn to Atlas and be like, he's on the dais. We've got the things on him.
What do I look like, a fucking priest? I put the shroud on.
That throws all the objects off of him.
Yeah, the lantern and the,
What are you doing?
and Havok is like,
Get ready.
What are you gonna cast?
He has no spell.
I'm tired, damn it.
I don't know what your plan was
That
here.
ego check will get up to 24 max. It's gonna be bad.
Can
he's
we
looking inside the lantern. Yeah, there's a little wick there.
Do you know?
light it? Maybe we have to light the lantern.
I have flint and steel.
Alright, let's put the shroud back
So
on.
there are 4 or 5. Let's see.
It's 5 of us.
This is gonna be like fucking just
6 of us if you count the dying goblin over there.
Oh, he's on the dais. We need a yak.
So there are 5 doors closed stone doors on the sides of this room, and each has a very plain face carved into the door, completely neutral of expression. Above each door there are two crystals that glow with light, pale white light.
What makes a man go neutral?
Alright, I'm gonna perception on it, a little arcana on it. What do we do?
Could you put the thing back on?
Look, you've got the best arcana. Can you do arcana?
I'll check it myself.
I'll do perception.
I'm gonna pull
28 Arcana check on this situation.
You would imagine that lighting the lantern would help a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to pull out a flint and
Look,
steel and
I figured that.
light the lantern.
So you put the shroud back over Havok, you put the lantern back on his chest, you put the lens back on his face, and you light, and Volley lights the lamp.
Yeah.
Alright.
I have flint steel too.
he-
I knew you were going to say something.
The moment the spark leaves the flint and tinder and heads towards that wick, it flies up into the ceiling, and those crystals earlier shine beams of white light into it, which pool around that little spark and shoot down into the lantern, which change the beam's direction, lancing it into the prism, which breaks it into the distinct colors of light, which it blashed out and hit each door. Now those crystals each glow with a different color. Red, yellow, green, blue.
Orange.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Yeah. There's no There's no
Green, indigo.
I guess yes.
Yeah. And each of the faces takes on, opens their eyes and takes on an expression. And this light is held. And Havok's body goes incredibly still, and the shroud melds into the stone as if he is carved into this coffin as ivory itself.
He's like Han Solo.
He's like Han Solo. He's been carbonated by this shroud.
Okay.
And you believe that he will remain that way until you do something with these doors.